Right, here we are. Go. Um,
You ready?
we're ready, Niall. Let's go. We're in.
Hello! What's happening, Pricey? Welcome to AFA Exposed, where today we interview CEO Mr. Silad. So we're going to get straight into this, have a few questions for the man himself. As long as we're all good. Any questions in chat, work away.
I know. Oh, everybody hear me
So,
okay?
can everybody hear me?
I think they can.
That's the main thing, is that I can be heard.
Oh, got 7 ads.
Pricey got 7 ads. And then 4.
We're going to have to wait for this a bit. Yeah, so a lot to spill.
7 ads. You might want to move my camera over, mate, because I'm not exactly fully in the box. I'm just looking at it there, like a couple of mil over to the left or right. I can't remember.
I'll be all
Just
right.
a smidge.
Want to be a bit closer?
I can be closer. I'll just make myself closer. You know what I mean? I'll just get all up in your fucking face and up in your grill, like.
You want to be? I can make you closer if you want.
I just get straight up in it. I get all up in your biz.
I thought in case you've got like things like underneath your desk, you.
Yeah, and I've got a bed, full bedspread, king size under my desk. If I want to go for a napping game at the same time, it's like, yeah, we'll have a chill time.
Yeah,
I don't know what that.
we're waiting on 7 ads on price. I don't know
what. Man, you started the stream and I got 1 ad. I got a ad straight away. I was like, the bloody thing hasn't even started yet.
I have to just speed talk just to get before the first ad comes.
Throw us an ad. Let's know. Love ads on Twitch. They're great.
I'll let people know if we've got an ad coming.
Oh yeah, you get it, don't you?
Yeah, you probably won't.
Those are 7 ads. You see how he's getting on.
Yeah.
Could be waiting a while. At least chat box is working.
Yeah, that's good.
He's in here. He's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot to spill.
We do.
What I'll do is
You're not ready.
I'll just tell it as it comes, and then if there's any questions, I'll just drop him in.
Oh mate, you don't understand how many questions I have, and I have so many areas to cover.
On the spot,
oh yeah.
Oh dear, have I got myself?
I've been ready for this, and no,
ad break ends.
You're really screwed.
Gonna go straight on the off. Oh.
In 3, 2, 1. Action!
Everybody back in yet? Come on, let's go.
So the ads are finished, are they? We good? Ready to go?
They should be back now.
Hopefully so. Well, we're going to get straight into this now. And my first question for Mr. Silad.
We back?
I'm hoping so.
Are we back? Is everyone back?
Right, answer your phone, mate. I need to ignore this. First of all, anyway, the main question to start off this is, how did you come up with the idea of starting AFA?
Good question, actually. So AFA, right? I'll tell you how it began, because it's a long story. This for everybody die into it, so it'll answer a lot of questions. So what happened was, I decided a new game was coming out called. I'd seen the Division. I never got to get it. Lodging with a friend at the really wanted it.
Right. Lovely.
And he never ever said I could play. Like this was
right.
This was it now. Division 2's coming. Managed to get my big sword. But I'm not gonna. I want to friggin' have a big clan. Like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of ads that were. I got the game, loaded it up, glitching out on my microphone.
No.
There we. That better? So what happened was I decided that if it's going to be the starting point, I
Yeah.
decided.
Yeah, your microphone's kind of glitching on my end too, for some odd reason.
How's it working now? Is it working all right?
It kind of just happens every now and again. So if we just keep speaking, it might happen. It might or might not happen. Should I say?
How's it now?
No, it sounds pretty clear now.
Hang on. There we go. Is that better? Is that a
That
lot
should be
better?
better. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Is that better? Yeah, I think
Oh no, you glitched.
glitching.
You had a little, you had a little glitchy moment there.
Ah, loads better. Oh, it's okay. We'll go
Maybe
with
it's
it.
just Discord, so it doesn't matter.
We'll go with that anyway. So yeah, I started on division, and I said, right, this is it. So I started pulling in a couple of lads, interviewing them, seeing if they'd want to join, and I got this lad in called John. I got this other lad called Tricky, and we started off pretty well. We were getting gear and stuff as you do, because you have to get
Yeah.
gear for Division 2, and the RNG is so bad. I like to find stuff. It's so bad. You could be hunting for weeks just to get one piece that everybody wants, and it was
Yeah, I've played it. It's brilliant.
it's a massive game. I got it from the off. So the date's here, 3rd of April. We set up the clan, the 3 of us.
Right.
We were going to build this clan, it's going to be big. And it got to, what was it? It was the 15th we started recruiting. So it took us over a week or so just to get everyone together to talk about getting some recruitment in. And it took ages to get going. Literally, it was just one person every few weeks. It was a slow build. I met a really nice guy called Steve. He goes by the name of Blob Job at the time, and
What a name.
we brought him in, and from the off, he was just a laugh. He said to me how to look at the clan and stuff. He'd done stuff before. He was in his 50s or probably a bit more. And he was just a laugh. He didn't take no shit, and he said, right, we'll do it like this. We'll get recruitment in. We'll do it like this, and you'll search on Xbox and stuff, because we weren't using Discord at the time. And I thought, oh, this is going to be brilliant. This, so we got some people in, and we got them in, and we got this lad called Munches in, and fucking hell, couldn't he talk? Every time he was in comms, he was just chatting about I've been down to the seaside today, or I've been over to the Welsh Hills and stuff like this, and kept going on and on and on. And he was just one of them lads that just wanted to tell you his life story every day. And it was like, come on, man. Is this guy's electric going to cut off anytime soon? You were wishing it, And I just had it.
It is.
I was just like, oh, here we go. So we started getting more people in anyway. And Steve pulled me aside, and he said, some fuckers changed my name. I said, what do you mean? Well, I've had to change it. Someone's reported me since being in AFA. Was it you? I said, it wasn't me. I said, I haven't reported you. He said, well, someone's reported me. I said, it wasn't me. And he fucking went round to a whole clan asking them, was you fucking reported me? I was like, Steve, what are you doing? He goes, I'm finding out. I've had that name for years. I was like, oh dear. So he changed it. He was called Hot Monkey Dust then. He goes, don't anybody fucking reporting me again. So we lasted a while running the clan with Steve, and he was showing me the ropes. Like he said, you got to be a bit more tougher with the people that come in. You're too soft. He says they just walk all over you. You got to be really tough when you're running stuff online, because otherwise they're just gonna just run in and they could take people and run off. You got to be really, really commanding with when you're running a clan. So he gave me a few pointers. He helped me with division. We got this lad called Coggin. He was a really good lad. He was looking for a clan at the time, and he'd been getting ready for the raids that were going to be coming out on Division 2. And it was going really well. We were getting some good lads in. We got some lads from Canada in. So it wasn't just UK, it was all over. And as you know, you only get 40 slots. So it was getting to the point now where if people weren't active, they had to go, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
I was in Division one time, and this bloke was stranded, needed some help. Answered the call as you can. I joined his game, helped him get through the level, and I messaged him. I said, "Do you want to join a clan?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure, not a problem." And that was Old Man.
Yeah.
That was Old Man, and he joined.
No way.
He joined, and then ever since he's been in it till now. Like still in it. So yeah, it's been in it for a long time. And he stuck with me, and he's met Steve and all the others. Tricky started to play quite well, but we weren't seeing much of him.
Yeah.
John was doing all right, but he didn't have a lot to say at first. Great guy, not a problem. I think I pushed him a bit too much, but he loved AFA.
That can happen though.
He loved AFA. Do you know what I mean? It was what he loved. He could log in, play, and that's what everybody wanted. They wanted a game, an area where everybody could just come and chill. But the problem was me. I was ruthless, to be fair, and I wasn't taking any shit because I did.
An organization, you need that, like.
Yeah, but the thing was, I didn't know the balance then, so I was just so OTT at times, and some Americans that joined, they tried to test my patience, and I really let it go. Like fucking really let it go. One guy said to me that he said, "Oh, can I help him look for some gear?" And I said, "Yeah, not a problem. I can help you." And afterwards, he just left the game, so I wasn't too pleased about that. He left the clan, so there's a lot of people coming in just to get their own merit on stuff, and that's why I always say, don't give them everything on the off. Let them work for it. So
100%.
And I learned from that lesson then. And I was always learning different things along the way. I got really good at division. And in what we hang on, let's have a data here. So
you got a data sheet.
I got some notes just in case, because there's a lot to tell, isn't there?
So it's a long story.
So our first raid was at the 14th of August in 2019. So that's a good date. And we started raiding. Oh my god, it was fucking dreadful. We had people crawling on the floor. We had people swearing. We didn't know what we were doing. And this was the first raid that come out in Division, and like everybody didn't know what they were doing. Everyone was having a go at each other, and I said, "Hey, stop it now! Right, listen." I said, "We're not going to get anywhere fighting like this." And then Cog stepped in, and he said, "Look, what we're going to do is we're going to have you there, you there, you there." And I didn't want to say, Cog was wrong, because he's the one that was doing so much for the clan to try and help us with raids.
Yeah,
and
of course.
So me and Cog got on really well. There was a few that weren't really raid material. They were just like in it just to be a spare part. But it was good to have the extras in. But sadly, Alt Monkey just said, "Oh, fuck this, I'm off." So he actually left the session. Didn't leave the group or anything. He loved AFA, but he just couldn't do the raids. I went off with Cog and started training to do different things in raids to learn, because we needed to have some guidance to teach the others. And we become the main sole leaders to do raids. And the reason why you do these raids is because you get the best loot in raids, and if you don't get the best loot, then you can't progress further in the game.
Yeah.
You can farm as much as you want in Division, but unless you can get the right raid build and then do lots of raids, it ain't going to happen. So we did the raid. I think it was the 5th of October. We actually completed it. It took us that long to get a team together. In between times, we had a guy in called Dillygaff. This lad, this black guy, like, and he was starting to fucking have a go at old man a bit. So we was running one mission one day, and he has a pop at old man and says, "Look, can you drag your fucking LMG over here?" And old man goes, "If you're going to speak to me fucking like that, you'll be waiting a long time, you cunt."
As you do, but like,
and I was
you
like,
can't
I
put
was in
situations
stitches.
like
I was
that.
like, wow. Like, and he goes, and like, it went absolutely silent. Like, literally, you could hear a pin drop. It was that quiet. I was like, "Jad damn." Do you know what I mean? It was proper mental. And
There's no need for it either, like.
and we had a few of them in. We had a few like people come in. I had one lad that come in, and he said that he was raid ready. Cog looked at him and he said, "Look, the way you're dressed, you wouldn't even get into a pantomime." He said, "Awful. What are you wearing?" Do you know what I mean? It's like you've turned up to a complete circus act here with what you're wearing with this build, because it's absolute shit. He goes, "You go in there." He goes, "You're going to be dying on the first as you hit the tarmac," which was the first bit as you get out of the sewer onto the main platform where the airport is. He would die there, which was pretty shit. So we couldn't take him in. We sent him off to go and look for some more gear. And he did. He went off and got some more. We eventually got a solid team together, like I said. 5th of October, we managed to get a raid complete. And it was about an hour's run, the first one.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
Took us an hour. I never thought it was going to fucking end. Honestly, I really didn't. I was sat in there and I was like, wow. We were going over every level, and I felt like I was doing an exam. Like, I kept failing. I had to keep redoing it. And it was getting to the point where everybody was starting to lose it.
Yeah.
You know, so I said to myself, this better finish soon. So we did it in an hour, and then we carried on going. And we managed to do it in quicker times. We managed to get it down. And and you'll never guess how fast we got to do it in.
33 minutes, 52 seconds, 0.076 hundredths of a second.
Absolutely fucking accurate. No, I'm just kidding. We managed to do it just under. We managed to do it just under 20 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
I think we got it down to 15 at one stage, but we managed to do 7 raids a night. We were taking people through the raid, carrying them, just so they could get their Eagle Bearer. You know, the red gun that was coming out. You get it on the plane, comes out of box.
Yeah.
So we would get it. Cog obviously was the raid leader. I told him to take the reign. He would lead. I wasn't very vocal. I was just, I only spoke when needed to. I just sat back, helped out where was needed. Cod gave the orders. We had Virus in. There was a girl called Christina. She was really good. And we had Sleeper Agent, was a really good sniper. He actually got some really good one shots on Boomer, which was after the tarmac where you got the big dude running around. Old Man was very good at getting the aggro and shooting people down. He was really good at the drones. Them drones,
speaking
old man.
Of the old man, speaking of the man himself.
He loved absolutely smashing them drones. And I was just telling about your little incident with Dillygaff. You know, you told him to go and fucking swim or something, didn't you? When he said, "Get that LMG over here." Oh, I'll never forget it. Like, old man's very, very like sophisticated in
Well
his
managed.
ways. He won't speak unless it really means it. And this time he fucking meaned it. Like, he had enough of this bloke. He wanted to take him outside and smack him one. He really did. We had some close calls, and it come really close to the wire. Really did. I thought I was going to have to split them apart at one stage, because he kept coming out with
Yeah.
stupid comments. He was a knob. Yeah. And
You're glitching there, Si.
yeah, am I still running okay?
You were running okay, and then everything started stuttering on the stream.
Okay.
And everything seems fine now, but it just glitched out the whole thing for a second.
Don't know why it's doing
Should
that.
be. Oh, God knows. Oh, good now.
Yeah. If I do disappear, we'll
Yeah.
all set up. Anyway, we managed to finish the raid. 20 minutes. Really record time, was absolutely mint. We're doing 7 raids a night. It was doing really well. I've got over 200 raids. Most of us were on 200, 300. It was amazing. We've done really well. We were getting quite a few people interested in the clan. We were getting the top clans interested. We were actually really out there, to be honest. People hated us because we were out there, and we were really, really upsetting a lot of clans. We we knew VK Fear, that was the big top boy at the time. I think he's now AFT Lion. So yeah, he actually lives not far from where I am. He lives up in Worcester way, and he it's about an hour and a half drive, something like that, maybe 2 hours.
Not too bad.
And we was chatting for quite a while, and the thing is, we just got along. He asked me to join his a few times to his raids to run, but I never got the chance to go. He had so many people that wanted to join him to do it. It was hard.
There was always loads of people there, and it was just impossible.
Yeah.
So let's get on here, because we're getting the division spoke about, but with what everybody is wanting to know. So obviously every sort of organization or clan comes with its ups and its downs.
Yeah. So I'll get into that now. So
what drama has unfolded over the years of AFA?
Oh, this is where it went. This is all start to go wrong after these raids. So after the raids came out, and they started to move towards this DLC of warlords, a lot of the clan had a bit on nerves about it. I know there's a few of us that said we won't. I said if the gear changes, which it was, they were going to take a lot of gear changes, which was going to dramatically fuck us over. Like we used to do like levels where we were on like, I can't remember what it is. It's like Camp Oak or something like that, where you're running and you got loads of people. And if you didn't have a full good gear, you'd get walloped and you wouldn't get any fucking gear at all at the end. We was constantly doing so much. We had a lad called in Yo, and he did we used to do runs around the actual Washington area for division, getting loot and stuff, and it all stopped after a while. You could see it, that there was a divide happening in the clan.
Right.
A lot of people were going, they were kind of like, weren't mingling together. You could see it happening. And you could see that you'd have one lot of people would just play together, and the other lot would play together, and it created a massive, massive problem. And I spoke to Cog and I said, look, you're going to need to help these lads out and give them some guidance, because you know what gear to get for the raids. I've not studied this yet. I've got to recruit. I've got to do all the other bits. But previous to all this happening, I had a guy that wanted to get us onto Discord. And this is where my first wake-up call was with Discord, and I knew this wasn't going to go down well. This guy wanted to set up our Discord. So he set it up. It took him about a week. At this point, I wasn't happy with this guy. I heard quite a bit about him. He was part of SWE. They become our first rivalry in AFA, and we absolutely used to fuck them over in the DZ. He didn't like them. There was a guy called Rambo in, and we had Rambo in, and he was such a great guy. He managed to get some good players in and help out where he was, and we did quite well, to be fair. We had Sleeper Agent helping out, which is now Cypher, that's recently joined us, and we've had some good laughs, and SWE, they're a bit sus, Anyway, he built this Discord. I said to myself, I'm going to learn Discord, so I want to know what I'm doing here. So I learned it for 3 months. He built us this Discord. Everything that you put into it, your name sticks. So whoever's wrote all that detail in, it's all in at the top, so people can see SWE at the top of the fucking AFA Discord. I thought, well, that's shit, isn't it? You come into the Discord and he, instantly you're seeing him promoting it. You know what I mean? What the fuck is this? So I started building my other one, and then he started to try and poach the players out of my clan, and I could see it happening, that he was starting to get close. So I immediately fucking removed him.
Of course, as you would, like. Have people taking
He said to me that it was my server, so I removed him. Oh my! It didn't, of course, some shit. It did. He was like, he came up in my Facebook, messaging me saying he's going to smash my face in. He lives up in Liverpool. He's going to drive down, all this, smash my face in. He's going to give it a good working over and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I said, oh mate, it's a fucking game. Grow up. And he was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, you've tried to poach one of our players. I said, we haven't started poaching anyone. Don't come with that. We don't even know half of your players. He just kept...
Yeah.
And he was just trying to give it the big in.
Of course.
Everybody told him to fuck off, basically. They didn't want to know what he was doing. There was this league, like a table in Division of XP. Everybody was getting like 10 mil and stuff and racking it in on AFA. We were going up the board. We passed SWE, and we were like, really happy about that. They changed their names to Voodoo Gamers. I don't know what they go by now. Probably Ragdolls. I don't know. So we got quite well into getting our established clan, but still, the divide was still happening. The divide was still...
there's always a divide and a separation.
I asked John what to do. Tricky hadn't been active for ages, so we had to remove him. And as I kept saying, if you aren't going to keep your slot, that's it, you're gone. And I was strict on that. I had to be strict. I can't let people just come in and do what they wanted to do. I built this. I was the one that was running it. If you didn't like it my way, that was it. I had one American come in, and he said to me, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. I said, well, you're in the wrong fucking clan then, because I don't know how it works here. And he goes, oh, you got a bit of a mouth, ain't you? I said, me, I've got a bit of a mouth. I said, I'll fucking show you what a mouth is, mate. I said, you fucking come in the dark zone and I'll fucking rip your head off. And I'll take all that gear that you've got and I'll fucking keep it. He didn't like it. And I caught him in the dark zone, fucking trying to get to the helicopter. All of our boys come over, and I said, look, this one's been giving us some shit. We absolutely fucking nailed him right on that spot there. Fucking 4 people on one, just fucking hammering him. But then fucking one of our lads teabagged him and took all his stuff. So it was quite a good little payback, that was. He didn't like that. Oh. His name was called Monkey Nuts or something like that.
Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah.
Names back in the day were different to what they are now, though. A lot of people, like people's gamer tags and all sort of stuff was always so much funnier back then, because you could get away with a lot more.
The manhunts, like Pricey said, they were mad. I used to go in the dark zone and it was great. We used to have people glitching in walls, but we managed to get an 8-man in and it was really good. We had old man in and he was loving it. He was like got his LMG, and he was just hacking away at these people running. We fucking nailed quite a few people, like in the dark zone. It was a good laugh.
Yeah.
So we did really well at that, and then, but like, things were getting on top of us. The DLC came out. Everybody decided that there was a split, and we had a lad called Mac in, and he brought a couple of lads in, and it started to divide. Then sadly, I said to Cog, look, you're a captain, because we had our own like captains like we do now, and he was meant to be helping them to get gear and stuff. He said he would.
Yeah.
He changed his like over the time. I think he might have forgot what we were doing, and I said to him, look, can you help the lads out? They want some help, like how to get gear and stuff. And he didn't. He wasn't helping, and it was getting to the point where people were getting high rate. They never said they were going to leave. It was just getting tense, And then it took a turning point, and Frog told me to fuck off. And I thought, I can't really let that. I can't really let somebody write that to me in chat and get away with it. And at this time, I didn't want to suspend him because he already knew that everybody liked him because he had people behind him to do raids. But I was the one that made this clan. I was the one that got it to where it was. I brought Cog in. I brought all people together. I brought a lad called Will in, and he didn't even play that much, And he used to come in, and he used to like try and stuff. He was ex-military, and he was all right. We got on, but he left eventually. We needed the slots, and you only have 40 unless you made another clan. So I was just getting rid of people if they weren't active. I had a few people tell me to jump off a bridge and all sorts, but I had to carry on. I wanted to get to a point. We got to top 50 in the world with Division, as everybody knows. That was really a massive milestone, but we could have got further if we actually knuckled down. But sadly, it come to an end. So Cog told me to fuck off. That was what it come down to. I told him I wasn't going to have that attitude with me. I said, I've been doing a lot here. So I told him we'd have a call. Me and John spoke, and I said, look, what's happened? I said, I can't tolerate this. We'll have a call. Cog didn't want to have the call. He wanted to leave. So he left, and half of the clan went. Nothing I could do about it. Just had to watch half of the building collapse. And that's how it is with gaming, unfortunately. You don't know how solid it is because you're building your house with people, and you've got to get on with people. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get on with them one week or the next. It's the weeks that you don't get on with them that can matter.
Exactly.
And that's what we learned. If you don't get on with somebody, they could be gone tomorrow. Yeah. And it's a sad thing, really, because I've met some really great guys along the way, and they've hit the road. But that's gaming online and in life, Like you meet people in out in the street or whatever. You talk to them for a bit, you don't see them for a while, So it's just how it is. So it divided. Me and Old Man carried on playing. He stuck with me. Loads went. We lost Sleeper Agent, Christina, Cog, Virus, everyone that went. Hot Monkey Dust stopped playing. He had some real big health issues going on, so he stopped playing completely.
That's understandable, obviously.
His family were getting involved, and they were saying you shouldn't be playing games at your age, which me and Old Man turned our eyes up at. We thought that was a bit harsh. But
there's no age limit to gaming.
No,
like gaming is a thing that, especially, obviously, there's women that play. So obviously, we got Pricey's Mrs. George out. There's Emily in the clan. There's Jenny. There's all them guys.
Yeah,
and it's got no gender. It's got no age limit. You could be a 60-year-old man playing games. There was that old woman that you played played COD or Fortnite. One of them. she was in her 80s or 90s.
Yeah,
Gaming is a release for people, and that's just the way that is. And people don't understand that.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Everybody hear everything okay? It's all right. I've had a few little things on my end. Everything
Even in
okay?
chat.
That's all good then. So
Yeah, massive release for everybody.
so yeah, I was like, fair enough. Everybody's got to, I'm not going to stop people going where they're going. I've achieved so much with AFA over the years, and Division was one of them. Even though they had a lot of bad points, it's taught me a lot of things, And I wasn't going to stop there. I wasn't throwing it in. A lot of people throw that.
Yeah.
A lot of people were throwing their hat in. A lot of people threw the hat in just after one issue, and okay, so I decided this was it. We started the rebuild. They started their own clan called Kill, and it was me versus Cog. That's how it come down to.
Yeah.
He did really well for himself for a start, and then everyone said, "Oh, Cog's too selfish," and all this, that, and the other, and they turned on him. And he left, joined another clan. He left them to it. And it started to go downhill from there. I don't know what else happened. I focused on what I was doing, and I started to rebuild. I had Rambo by my side, a really good guy that helped support me through the times, and we got to a stage where we managed to get a clan working again, because we had 2 raid teams, you see. We had 2 raid teams, AFA, solid raid teams, and you have to have teams of 8. And then we had subs, it was massive, and
That is.
as lights of Killer Smurf, Sick Lucifer, Old Man, me. There was and some I can't remember who else, but there was loads. We had Sir Dutch, and then obviously Will came back, and he started to play a bit. We had Azori or someone. Was it Azori or someone like that, or someone like that? He was like a weird name. He joined for a bit, but he was more into Forza, so he didn't stick around for long. And we got to the point where Division was coming to an end. We couldn't stick around on it, and I said, right, I'm going to build a community. And a few dropped out, didn't want to be part of it, which is fair enough. I was getting to the point where I had this guy called Jibby, and he was starting to do Division. And we got some people in. Jibby was really good at recruiting. If I know anyone, he was one of the best recruiters I've ever had in AFA. Every day since I got him in, we used to have quite a lot of people joining. The Iron Horse raid came out, and he was teaching people to do that. I didn't do the Iron Horse raid because I was pulling away from AFA. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was pushing towards Halo and stuff like that. So I helped people to get gear and things like that. Jibby wanted to bring out this new fucking thing in the Discord. Discord been going great. I made it. We transferred over.
Really?
And he made this like site, like his channel, and it got some weird stuff in it. People started commenting and say, look, what the fuck's going on in this channel? So if you without giving away too much info, it's basically like the naked man in Olympics. Basically, it's hammer on himself and stuff like that, right?
Jesus Christ.
And you had like people that were putting glass jars and stuff like that sort of stuff.
Oh, good Lord, yeah.
This channel was going to a state where it was going down a bad road. And I said, look, this is going to come to a stop. So we deleted the channel, but it was too late. There was a guy called Womb Wrecker or whatever his name was. He was he's called Womb Wrecker or something like that. I can't remember who it was. First name was called Chris anyway. We had a lot of shit off him, me and Old Man did. He threatened to ring the police on us. because we had this page there by this guy, and there was bullying that was going on that we didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So he started calling old man a pervert and a bastard and whatnot. Old man didn't
Jesus
like it,
Christ.
so we started rebelling against it. We did quite a bit really to hold our ground. It was all just hearsay, do you know what I mean? It was no any concrete evidence other than that channel, which has actually
Yeah.
been deleted. You know, do you know what I mean? It's gone, so that's it now. And
Right.
we're just getting a lot of these threats through Facebook, and every page everywhere was AFA, don't join it. AFA, don't join it. AFA, don't join it. And no matter where you looked, AFA, don't join it. We
Jesus.
knew division was over. My name was everywhere. Old man name was everywhere. Everywhere we looked, it was just there.
Jesus.
I got to the point in my life where I thought, "Fuck this! I don't know what to do." Like, I thought, "What am I going to do?"
Right.
I said, so I text my mate Steve, not old man, other Steve, and he said to me, "Look, it'll blow
Steve number
over."
2.
Yeah, and he was like, "No, it'll blow over, Si. Don't worry about it. It's just trending at the minute." And he always gave me great advice, and I'll never forget him because he's dead now. Unfortunately, he passed away with brain tumor. But
Oh God.
the time he's spent and he's taught me how to become a really good leader, understand people, don't take shit, and be the person I am. You know, I'm not just a leader. I've got other qualities as well, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And you know, I've managed to like get to a place where I've got that thick skin now. I know what
Yeah.
I've been through the worst of it, and I was like, this is the worst of it. If I can deal with this, then I'm fucking laughing. Do you know what I mean? Anyway,
Yeah.
I got the messages till this day, and like literally, it just goes on and on and on. Hymn sheets of like, police are going to be coming, they're going to be calling your door, they'll be knocking your door. So I said to old man, I said, "What the fuck is going on here?" We said, "Don't worry about it." He said, "Let them fucking come." He goes, "What they're going to say? Oh, there's a channel dodgy. Delete it. Gone." So, you know, we weighed out the pros and cons. We waited it out. Nothing happened. Didn't get no phone calls. Didn't get no call rounds. So we carried on as normal. The post started to fade away. My name was plastered everywhere. I wasn't getting away from that. No way.
Yeah.
I decided to pass the clan to Rambo. I said, "Look, mate," I said, "this is yours and I don't want it back." He said,
Yeah.
"Are you sure?" I said, "No, I don't want it back." You know,
Just that.
it was
That
all
sort of
over
stuff.
everywhere. It was over. It was on the division pages mainly. It's not recently. This was years ago, and I was like, "Fucking, this is. I don't know what's going to happen because I've got to step away." And I started to carry on and build the gaming server at this time, and I was like, "I'm going to focus on this." So Rambo carried on with the division. He did everything with that.
Yeah.
Jibby said, "I don't know what to do anymore." He eventually took a load of people out of AFA and left.
Jesus.
So they did the Iron Horse raid.
Mm.
They took the pictures and what and said, "Well, thanks for everything." And he took a guy called Richard, another girl that was his missus, Jibby, another lad called Neo Viper, and a few others, and or what I can remember, some of them anyway. And
Yeah.
they went. I got left with a fair mix of Americans, some UK, Rambo, and a few others. We were down to like 22, and it was another.
Right.
And then the Americans started leaving one by one.
Yeah.
We got down to about 10 members.
Jesus. That's a big drop.
And I got to the point, do I pull the plug here and just be done with it? And I said, nah, it's not happening.
Keep her going.
We carried on going. We built the numbers up. In over about 2 months, we were up to 30.
Fucking hell, that's a big drop to a big jump.
we were bringing people in big. Rambo was there taking people in. He did quite well for the most part of it, but this is where the tables turned.
Oh, the spice begins, does it?
Just as we was going out the woods, another hiccup came along. We started building this gaming server, getting loads of people in. It was going really well, and I got to the point where I wasn't really active, and I was trying to grow with the. We were growing too much. That was the issue. That was the play. We had so many games we wanted to play, but we had like 85 channels in a Discord. It was ridiculous.
Jesus.
And well, it felt like that. I think it was more like 40, but yeah.
That's
Um,
still a lot of channels.
and like literally every game had a channel. Then you had the info. Then you had the voice comms. Then you had all the other stuff. Then you got like pictures and all whatever. Oh, it was massive, and massive long list to deal with.
Yeah.
I said, oh, Rambo was going to build Destiny 2.
All right.
So he did
yeah.
that. He did that. Old man said, "Oh, I'm on board." Old man has always loved Destiny 2 since Division, and he started on Destiny 2. And this is where his roots are. He loved that game, and he still does to this day. And he plays it and plays it and plays it. And anybody who wants to play it, he'll always be there to help them. And I've been in there. It's not my type of game, but sometimes I might play it. I haven't got it.
Yeah, it's the same for me.
And
I wouldn't play it now myself personally.
we
Just not my type of game.
Yeah, it's one of those games, isn't it? It's sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. So
Yeah. It's like people with Borderlands.
yeah, and I got to the point where I wanted to start a game, but I didn't know which one I wanted, and I was in between games.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people playing different things. We're trying to do community nights as you do, so it was like the learning taste of where we were into a community. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know many other clans out there. We bypassed a lot of clans, SWE, all the others. We teamed up with in Division when we were playing with the top teams. We were with TSE. They were really big then. Doomsday Raiders and all them. And we didn't know anybody in this gaming group that was like the gaming scene of other clans, because we knew the
Yeah.
only clans that would do Division. It was a different new era, and I started another thing that I started, which I forgot to tell you, is I started Facebook pages like the Division to find a clan, which was called Free Agents. I started that on my own. It's now over 1,000 people in there that look for clans.
Jesus.
I built that. I built that myself.
Jeez,
I
didn't know that now.
I built that myself over time, recruiting, getting people in there. Word of mouth. I got that in there. I built that. That's a success.
Big success. Jesus.
And it still goes to this day. I pop in there now and again and see if it's going okay. I've got some other moderators that look at it. It goes pretty well, but Division's getting to be a bit of a dusty road now. We need Division
One of the
3.
ones now, right? You
Yeah.
pull out the case and you can blow the dust off it.
Yeah. So this is the part where me and Rambo say goodbye. So I had a few chats with Rambo, who to bring in, who not to bring in. There was a list there. I said that there's certain people you got to watch out for online, and there's a lot of unknown characters, and I'm talking real unknown. And we had females in the group as well. So at this time, I just wanted to protect everybody. I didn't want people in that can't be protected. And this guy had been in AFA before in the Division side. I said, and this guy had already had posts come out that he'd been talking to people on Fortnite. This is how bad it is. And he was talking to 2 girls on Fortnite, age 13.
Right. Okay.
So Rambo brought this guy in without doing his checks. It wasn't really his fault, to his fairness, but the list was there to be checked. I found
Yeah,
that
exactly.
lazy. And I snapped at him and I said, look, what the fuck are you doing? You know, you can't be doing this.
Yeah.
And like, everybody just jumped on Rambo at that point and had a go at him.
Jesus Christ.
But what I know now is really the whole team is at fault, really. We should, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not one person. Everybody's at fault at the end of the day.
Mm.
Yeah, he may have brought someone in. He wasn't to know. You know, it wasn't just his fault. But I was
No.
so annoyed at the time. Instead of taking a step back, digesting the situation, I jumped because I had to act fast anyway. I didn't want this to
Yeah.
happen.
Didn't have a choice really. You had to just act and go and that be it. Like in a situation like that.
Yeah. So I just jumped and acted, and Rambo went silent, and then he decided that it was a time where he wanted to let me know some more information, but he didn't tell me. Someone else did. That he was actually, his absences were because he was building another clan.
Okay. You got an ad.
We've got an ad, so we'll be back in a sec. Everything okay with the comms and everything, Niall? Is all going
It
okay?
seems like it. Seems like they're okay at the
I've got a
moment
bit of
anyway.
an encoder error coming up, so
Right, okay. Strange.
I'm hoping it'll be all right. But the levels are all right, yeah, on comms
Levels
and
are
stuff.
perfect.
No
Yeah, I
glitch.
can hear you nice and clearly.
Is there any glitching still, or is it
No, the glitching seems to have stopped. We're back anyway. By the seems of things.
bloody adverts?
Yeah. I thought old men liked adverts.
They don't.
Normally they like to sit there and watch them going, ooh, paste for my dentures.
Oh, there's some really dodgy adverts, aren't there?
Oh,
Especially,
stop. This is why I don't watch TV anymore.
there's more
It's
There's
weird.
more adverts on here than there is on the actual TV.
There is, and they get paid bloody thousands for them.
Yeah.
Absolute thousands. But we're back.
You
Square
back,
were we?
are you?
Yeah, we're all back,
Is everybody back?
I think.
It says
But
1
it's only a
minute,
quick
over
ad.
1 minute. It says
Alright.
over 1 minute for some of them.
Alright, I only got a 24-second ad.
Has anybody got ads? Let us know. We can carry on. We don't want to keep you. We don't want to. I'm getting towards half the story here. And getting
You
there.
weren't wrong when it was a long story to do with AFA. It actually is. There's a lot in it, like.
Yeah, I haven't got to the best part yet.
Jesus. It's mad. I had a text off a mate of mine going, point, and I was like, we haven't spoken about a year. I'm like, this is random, and I'm like, I am busy doing a podcast, because he rang me, I was like, can't answer doing a podcast. He was like, oh, fuck, sorry. I'm like, you're not meant to know. I was like, I haven't spoke to you.
Yeah.
And we're actually going for a point.
Ad ends in about 32 seconds.
I didn't realize how long some ads are. I don't know why. I only ever get short ads. I never get all these long ones like some people do.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
5 of them.
Jesus. I would rather not.
Don't get that. You don't get that on YouTube.
No, you don't. It's just if you get YouTube Premium and then you get rid of it, then they give you
Yeah.
really long ads.
Right, we're back. Yeah, let's go. So where was I? Niall, you have to retract
Oh
my
God.
memory.
Yeah, you're asking me, man. Where were we? Oh yeah, one of the lads was starting his own clan for his
There we go.
absence.
So
Somewhere there.
that was it, right? So it got to the point where we were just establishing ourselves as a community, getting to know each other, and Rambo brought this guy in that was a bit of a dodgy character, and yeah, I went down on him real quick, like fucking told him this shit can't fucking happen, and I fucking had a real good go at him, and he wasn't happy, and
Yeah.
he uh he took the Destiny 2 clan, went. We found out that he was running another clan. He stole the Division 2 clan off me at that point, but I already told him that he could have had it anyway, but he wasn't giving
Yeah.
it me back anyway now. So that was it. I'd lost everything at this point.
So at that point, you'd already gotten 2 or 3 games already stolen off you into another clans that people were building. You were
Yeah,
basically
he took
race for what they wanted.
he took the Destiny 2 clan, and old man flipped proper time, and he said to me, he goes, "This is disgusting." He goes, "I've been fucking grinding my ass off in this game, and he ain't been on it, and he's took it." Like, he goes, "If anything, it's my clan." And
Yeah.
you know, it was harsh, and like at this point, John had left and gone with Cog,
Yeah.
and it was just me and Rambo, you know, out of the main, and obviously old man, and a few of the others that from the USA side. We had Chris Vegas in. He was a good lad. He's joined us recently. He's a good lad. And yeah, we lost quite a few boys that were originals. The Division Clan, yeah, it changed to Chinese language. That was it. Yeah, that was funny. That was so funny when the clan changed to Chinese language. I don't know how that happened, but real crazy. And I said to myself, it ain't going to last long. I met up with Cog not so long after, playing Splitgate. We managed to sort things out, sort of thing. So he was all right. But yeah, we managed to get things back on track, and it got to the point now of rebuilding the community. Rambo had gone. It was called Renegades or something. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe he's what. I don't know if he still watches my streams. He sometimes pops in, but I fucking went on all his pages, and I changed all his details to the ginger nerds, and I was the one that was a real nasty bastard, and I was very sneaky, and now he'll know, but I don't care. It's years ago. But yeah, I was the one that I did all the stuff to his pages, and all the people that left weren't really that great at Division. They were okay. That's why they were a team too. I rebuilt, and not long after I rebuilt, I was starting to rebuild, and I started to get to know this guy called Alpha.
Right.
And he said, "Look, I see you started streaming not so long ago. Would you want to join this group?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I joined it, and that's where I met Maverick, Hyde, Colin,
All right.
a girl called Meg. I met someone called Frosty, Arctic Wolf. There was Orange, and there was quite a few other streamers in there. There was Beast Panda Beast, whoever his name was. And there was a good bunch of us there that used to stream regular. And I brought in a lad that I've got to know, called Paddy. And he goes by Unforgiven Prim. We got him in. I had my mate, I had Flinty that was with us. He didn't go with Rambo at the time, but he tried. Rambo tried to poach him off me, but Flinty said, "No, I'm staying with AFA. You've supported me." He hasn't, and even though that they kind of spoke and got on, he just said, "Look, no, I just feel it's wrong to go at this time." So he stayed. We started to rebuild. Alpha decided that he's more into gym stuff. So he stopped doing a bit of streaming, and I said to the lads, I said, "Look, this Aussie guy had joined the page, and he was just a bit full of himself. I didn't really like him, to be honest. I thought he was a bit of a nutter.
Yeah.
I didn't. He was like very cringy, like towards girls, and it was horrible to see. I fucking hated it. I hated seeing it. So
Yeah.
so I decided that I was going to leave. I didn't want to see it anymore. It was disgusting to see. Alpha wasn't about to do anything in his Discord. He wasn't managing it properly. And I thought, I'm not going to stand for this shit. So I left. I was like, fuck this, I'm off. So I told Alpha I don't want to be part of it. He said, I'm really sorry, dude. It's gone like this. He goes, it's my fault. You know, I should have been in the server. I said, no, it's not your fault. I said, people know how to react. You don't need to speak like that. I said, I'm not going to be spoken to like that. I don't want to be in there. I left.
Yeah.
I'd reached out to me and said, what's happened? And I told him. And then next thing I knew, he wanted to join me in AFA. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah. We joined. And then Maverick said, where are you gone? Do you reckon I could join? I said, if you want to. Then Maverick joined. Then Orange said, I want to fucking join. And then everybody started joining. And we got like this big stream community going. It was going really well, actually. Hyde said to me that he didn't really know how to communicate with the group that well. As he does struggle a bit. And he's such a great guy. Like, he can play most games. And I said, look, when he gets into a new group, it's always going to take time. It always is. Just give it time. Keep talking, get known, and you'll eventually be big here. He didn't know it, but he has become one of the biggest stars in AFA.
And, definitely, because when he joins, it's like, hide.
Yeah, and like, you know, I know he's been away doing his drifting at the moment, but like, you know, over the years, he has got bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, and like, that's just how he is. And he said to me, like, he goes, I love your streams, but you got to do this, this, and this. And I was like, okay. And that led me on to the path of different things. And I was like, right.
Morning, George.
Welcome in, George. And we were talking, and he said, look, we getting any more in here? And I said, well, Maverick said he's going to join and all that. They said about joining, but they hadn't actually joined the Discord. They eventually joined, and we had this massive streaming community then. And we were getting everywhere. We were everywhere. AFA live, AFA live, AFA live. You know what I mean? We're raiding each other. I had about 6, 7 people raiding. Then I had 7. Then I had 10. We were just jumping into each other's streams, raiding every night. It was a business. COVID was at large in China at this time. Yeah. So everybody was everywhere with streaming at this point. And we were doing so well. We had people leaving our community because they didn't want to stream or whatever. We had Colin come in. He said, "Oh, I wanted to join," so he joined. And you know, we just took off from there, and we started to do various things, different game nights. We had these lads come in, right? CD Foreman, Troy, and this lad called, I think his name was Liam, and I don't know who the other lad's name was. And he was from Ireland. He was a young lad.
Get on.
And I got on well with him, but the others, they're a bit sus. I didn't know how to take them. They were good at first. We set up this Halo team. We managed to do quite well. We had this guy called Jay Lee in. he was doing really well with Warzone. He used to get AFA a lot of wins with Warzone. Really good player. But
Jeez.
it's called Jay Lee. He was. I got some of the cards that he won for us, but he eventually left. But he was a really good player. I never had any problems with him really, but he just wasn't active enough.
Yeah, of course.
He came in the second time, he just wasn't active, so we removed him. But yeah, these lads they joined me. Did Halo. I was really good at Halo. I was fucking so
Yeah,
good. I was like learning how to do certain maneuvers and stuff,
of
and
course.
we were getting like lobbies that were quite solid, and we were winning. We were winning them. We were just walking out. We had people like being so upset that they come across us and that. Orange was absolute godly. Like literally, the movement on this guy on a keyboard was
Jeez.
insane. He was doing spins, 360s, no scopes. You fucking name it. This guy, he had it on point. And literally,
Love to be able to do that.
if I ever get to play with Orange, I know I'm in for a good night because I know he's going to back me up. I know he's got my back. Whatever game we play, he's just so good at it. He's good at streaming.
Yeah.
He's just a really cool dude to know. Unfortunately, work took the upper hand, and he hasn't got a lot of time now. But he is an absolute sensational guy. He's knowledgeable. And to know him and met him, it's something. I've met so many great characters over the time, and like I wouldn't change it. And
No, there's a good bunch of people in AFA now as well.
oh, definitely is. So Will came back, and
Right.
he said, "Oh, you're going to need some help. You need a website." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, the website you've got needs to be sorted out. It doesn't look that good." So,
Yeah.
bearing in mind, I'm paying like 160 quid for this website a year. I don't ask for anybody. I don't ask for anybody's money. I don't ask for
Yeah.
donations. If they want to do it, that's up to them, And I was like, I'm doing this for people. I want people to be able to come to me and say, look, I've come to AFA because of you, because you make people want a game. You know how it is,
Yeah.
and that's what I did. I said, right, okay. I gave him the passwords to do the website, and he did a good job. Give him his due. Then things started to get nasty. He
Of course, as they always do.
He wanted to build a team for Call of Duty. We had CD4, but it was Mike, like really good at the time. He was probably one of our top players, and we were trying to get a team together, but we were nowhere as good as what Price's team is now.
Yeah.
And like we were really bad. I couldn't shoot straight. I was all over the place. I couldn't get a build together, and I was all over the place. I didn't like it. It was
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2019. I just didn't like it that well. I was been more of a Black Ops person myself, and
Yeah.
I've always played those games and done exceptionally well in. And I've learned over the times of playing my games, because my very start of my gaming career, I started playing V Rally at 8 years old,
Jesus.
and I've progressed on. We're playing Sega games, a Game Boy, and stuff like that.
Jeez, I remember Sega days.
Yeah, and you had the cartridge you have to put in, you have to blow them and clean them and all that. Yeah,
I just get it just out. It was like,
yeah, they were the days, right? And
oh,
like,
stop.
I used to have an old collection. I had someone come in the village that came to play. Like there used to be like a few people, and we all used to like chill out and play. And they stole some of my games, and I had to go call the police and stuff. And I managed to get them back. But yeah, it's just like very jippo, like like stealing my stuff. Like you could just ask the boss. Like I know where you live. Fucking hell. If you're gonna steal some, at least don't let me know where you live.
Exactly.
And it was just stupid. I got the stuff back anyway. So I've got Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, gold, silver, green, you name it. I've pretty much got it.
Pokemon is the first one I played.
Yeah, it was good games.
How do you call it?
And here he is, the man. So yeah,
Just speaking about you.
So yeah, so this Will joined, and he brought in this guy called Glenn, and not long after, he said, "Right, I've done all the site for you." I said, "Okay," and I just fucking was like, "Wow, this is good." But it was all, he made it all about the army, like, "Oh, we do this for the army. It's for mental health and all that."
Yeah.
And it was a bit OTT on the mental health. Even old man said, he goes, "What? Where's it say about the clan? It's all like about mental health and army." I said, "I know." I said, well, I had a look through it anyway, and I didn't have enough time to change it then. So he decided to build another Discord server, and he said to everybody that this is going to be the new AFA server. It's called AFA Company.
Right.
Or something along them lines. So it was called the Alpha Company. That was it. Alpha Company. And it was a gold picture with a helmet with all writing on it. And there was this guy called Psycho or something like that, like Psycho Scorpion. There was a few others. I remember Hyde absolutely fucking losing it to this one lad in the server because he was like absolutely going at him or something, and I had to tell him to calm down. I eventually got rid of the one lad. Obviously, I kept Hyde because he's a good lad. I wasn't going to get rid of Hyde. And
yeah, of course.
I think he was telling him about the difference between smoking the magic green plants and fucking vaping,
Right.
and Hyde weren't having it. So yeah, it was so funny that day. Like I had to really step in and say, look, what's going on.
Yeah.
As this was going on, Will was building this big server and bringing all my people into his Alpha company group. And
Right.
he said to me, his words were literally, as soon as I asked him what was going on, he goes, "Oh, you're welcome to join." So I joined. Yeah, it looked a bit different, but the idea was still there to be a clan.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, "Look, what's going on?" I told people that something was going on. Old man said he didn't like it, what was going on. And the next thing I knew, I had a message off Will, and he said, I don't know what to say, but I can't fucking work with you anymore. I can't on this server. He said, AFA is just fucking done. He said, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm going my own way. He said, I've tried to help you, and all you do is throw it in my face. So I'm going my own way. You do yours, and I'm off. And if you want to stay in my server, that's up to you. But I don't want to do any more. And I was like, what the fuck? What does he expect? Do you want me to pay him for fucking doing the website or something? He offered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is it. Like, you can't go around and say that stuff. And
I was like, what the fuck is he on? You know what I mean? This lad used to ring me up, used to tell me about his fucking life issues. I used to speak to him on the phone. I was very nice to him. And this is how he speaks to me. I was like, what a fucking idiot. And I was like, this ain't happening. So I messaged everybody that was in that server. I said, do you really want to know what type of guy this person is? And a lot of them ignored me. I didn't get through to anybody, which I thought this was it. And
yeah,
as you can see from this story, I've had a divide after divide after divide. And I thought, am I doing something fucking wrong here? Like, am I doing something wrong? Am I pushing people too hard? Or am I not? Am I meant to be just like paying everybody for the slightest thing? And I said to myself, if I give up now, everybody else has would. They see me put down the tools and I've given up. Everyone will be laughing at me. I'll be like a clown. So
yeah,
I said, nah, that's not the person I want to be. I love gaming, and I want to have a good group behind me. I like the buzz. I like to have that. I like to have like people around me that play different games, hear different things, learn new
Yeah.
things. Meet people.
Yeah, nearly
Um,
fighting games that they were playing and
it's
actually
part of
really
a
enjoying them.
gaming community. You don't. At the end of the day, I don't have lots and lots of money to just travel or here or there and everywhere around the UK and other parts of the globe to do little gaming sessions. I'm not a millionaire. And
Yeah,
the only way you could do it is if you set it up online and you bring people into your community. And this is when the Division dark side was like when I was really ruthless and aggressive towards people because I couldn't stand to have the deception of people that wanted to leave and people trying to go behind my back. There was no trust. You're like
yeah,
like clans back in the day, you had trust. You had the way it was built. You had everyone's back. There was no backstabbing, and
yeah,
I love a lot of Americans and I love a lot of the UK. But over the years, I've seen a lot of the Americans people that have stabbed me in the back over the UK people, which is
yeah,
sad because I know a lot of great USA guys that are really good, solid guys, like Maverick's one of
yeah,
them, a very good guy, always sat down to earth, but there's a few that I've met that have been the worst. And I don't know if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the way it is, or I've attracted to bad people, or what it is, but they were bad.
God knows.
Um, I had some run-ins with quite a few. There was a guy called Towsy who was in the AFA, and he was going to run captain. He said that he had all this fucking knowledge and everything, pages of sponsorships, but like I never seen anything like that. What he was going to offer me, like
Yeah,
he was putting it all on a plate and saying this, that, and the other, but he never could deliver anything. He was just all talk. He never could actually
right.
give me anything decent. Um, he wanted to build like a COD clan and stuff like that, and I got rid of him because he was just all talk. And I
Yeah,
gave him 2 weeks to set up a team, and he was still umming and ahhing, and then he was saying, I'm not being micromanaged. I'm off." I was like, "No,
yeah,
I'm not being micromanaged. That's just I I want to have it in a set way, and this is how it is. I have it in this set way because I know it works." And
yeah.
that's
No,
what it
to
would come
have
down
structure.
to. If yeah, that's it. You got to have a structure, haven't you? It's like with a business.
Yeah, you have to start at the bottom and then work your way up, but you have to structure it so as it doesn't fail.
That's it. I this will took some players. I kept my bulk. Um, we started over again. Well, it was going quite well for a while, and then I met That's when I met Hallison from Florida. I saw her looking for a group. Then we developed a very, very strong bond in gaming.
Mm,
We started playing a lot of games and speaking to each other. Um, we which I never actually thought it was ever going to be an option in gaming and over online that I would ever meet
yeah,
anybody. I was just doing it for the good grace of everybody wants to play a game. It's got to be a safe
yeah,
place, and that was it. Now I'm spending like got to be about like hundreds on the fucking website, and I never ask for a penny off everybody. Yeah, I'm the bad person, you know.
oh
I'm the
yeah, yeah.
bad. I've brought people into a community to meet others, but oh yeah, just point the finger at me. I'm the bad person. I say something
You're
bad
the
in the
arsehole of it
I
all,
say something bad in the Discord. Oh yeah, he's a fucking bad person. It's
yeah.
literally so I must be a bad person. So that's so so
You're so horrible for making a community.
I know it's such I've dragged people away from their real life and I've ruined their relationships and marriages because I've told them to be on a game for a few hours, and it's just laughable, isn't it? Um,
That's funny as fuck, man.
I couldn't believe it. Like literally, um, I've had so many people that have blown up my inbox saying that they want to shoot me and all sorts. It's unreal, and you
Yeah,
would like all these other head cases that are fucking on that have a clan like KSI and fucking all these other groups. They're like they hit a fucking drama and their toys fall out the pram and that's it.
yeah,
Their clan's dissolved. Their clan's gone. They make
Yeah.
a new name and rebuild. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
They're gonna know who it is.
Yeah.
It's I like, why? Why? If you want to build a clan and you want to make it successful, you've got to be determined. You can't be a fucking
Exactly.
wimp. You can't be a wimp, and you've got to know how to build. You've got to bring people in that want the same things as you and on the same page. And luckily, I found a good fucking bunch here, and I'd supported me. I've had support from Colin, which is in the chat. He's been a great guy. He's always said, anybody wants to play Dead by Daylight, I fucking know it, mate. Join it, play it, we'll have a laugh. And, I've actually joined Colin a few times and had some games on that, and Orange was doing Halo. He was helping out with that for a while before he had his job, and then he's obviously took a sidestep from gaming and stuff like that. And then we had a guy called Ninja in. Real bad shit went down with him. Let's just say he was an undesirable we had to get rid of. That was one of our first big hits of a real bad case. He was from Texas. That's all I'm going to say. And there's been a police investigation on this lad, as far as I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was messaging girls at the age of like 10 and 9.
What the fuck?
Yeah, in Texas. That's what I've heard on Facebook. And I don't, like I say, everyone I've spoke to that knew him have said pretty much the same story. So I'm not going to give out his name or anything like that, but he's been dealt with. So
Jesus Christ.
We put it in the best way possible. At the time, Orange was on the case, so he put it a very, very well written post. And then it took another turn. This Will had set up some merch store for AFA, and the stuff that Paddy had got was coming off on his top. But we couldn't contact Will because he'd had left AFA and he cut all contact, and I cut contact with him. So Paddy contacted him, and he basically said, look, it's not his issue, and we'll have to contact the people that it is. He didn't get anywhere. I don't know what happened, but all the writing was coming off and it was peeling and it was really bad. And me and Hallison said it was really bad and stuff. I was getting threats online from Will saying Silad's a wanker and all this, and saying don't join AFA and truth's going to come out, he's a dick and all this, that and the other. And I was thinking, fucking, I've seen all this before. And he tagged me in it on my Instagram. And I was like, I don't fucking want anything to do with this lad. Like, literally, he's a fucking bad disease. Like, I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't care. I don't care if he wants to make friends now. I'd rather he fuck himself for all I care, because I don't want nothing to do with him. Because people like that are snakes in the grass, and they belong in the grass. Like,
exactly.
This could have been a business for all he knew. Do you know what I mean? No one knows. And luckily, it's just gaming, and that's as far as it's gone. But there's a lot of people in the world you can't trust. And I'm so happy that I've met so many people that I can trust, like old man, like shadow of a doubt is one of the strongest friends I've had through gaming. Like, if there's any problems or anything, I'd speak to old man, because like he's the longest person that's been in AFA. And if I'm ever lost, he'll be the first person I go to, because he knows where the identity of AFA came from,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I built the board members area, because all the people at the board members are the ones that have been in AFA the longest, that know the identity of AFA, what it stands for, how it's meant to be. And if I ever cross that line, they say, no, this isn't how AFA should be. We should be like this. That's why we have a board members that actually keep that identity of AFA. Paddy broke that rule because he wanted to be a friend, and he started being a bit close with my now wife, and he was like sending her things that he shouldn't have been. And I had a bit.
Wonderful.
I could have dealt with it, but my missus dealt with it at the time, and she basically told him that she's not interested. And he already had a girlfriend that he was seeing, which someone I knew at school from a long time ago. I didn't really
Right.
like her at school then, but I got on with her. Um, but he wanted to try and come between me and my now wife, and I thought that
Yeah.
was bad. And as a friend, and he he said, "Oh, I'll meet you when you get out the airport. I'll pick you up and stuff like that." And there were times where you would log on his stream and he would start taking his top off because she entered his stream and stuff like that. And
That's just weird.
and I I hate to say it, like, he hasn't got the body of fucking Zeus or fucking Hercules, but you know, we look at it as more of a pigeon chest.
You know what? I'm gonna start expecting that anytime I join your stream for you to start stripping just
Oh,
for me. Like,
oh.
I want to see
Got
it.
to
I
keep
want
you
to
on your
see it
path,
in
mate.
that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's right.
feel. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know any friend that would do that to someone else's best mate's missus. Like, so
No friend of anybody's would do
I
such a thing.
I didn't
An
want
actual
nothing to
friend.
do with him. That was the one
I think
thing
it'd be
that
gracious,
just
old
was
man.
bad. I know, yeah. Don't take the top off, fucking hell.
I think it'd be gracious, man. Fucking hell.
And like, I liked Paddy. Don't get me wrong, but that just overstepped the mark for me. And I said, right, that's it. I had a I didn't want to speak to him, to be honest. And he'd been complaining about being a captain for a while, about it was
Yeah.
overtaking his life. I said, well, that was your fucking choice. I
That was
said,
your decision. Like.
and this is the thing, right? I get so many people say to me, I don't want to be a captain because it's going to affect my weekends. I have a job. I'm thinking, yeah, I do AFA. I have to do so many things. I have to make sure things are paid for. I have to make
Yeah.
sure that people get to see the right information. I have to make sure there's events on. And you're telling me that you can't work around fucking work and having a game, and you're just having
Yeah.
a role as a fucking captain. You haven't got to do endless fucking interviews with people. You haven't got to keep putting on events because there's other people that can put them on. But no, no, no. It's a big charades with him, and it's going to upset his schedule. You know, whether he was doing fucking church going or fucking swimming in
Well,
whatever, he couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't do extra hours because I have to be a captain. And I thought this was getting a bit too far.
yeah.
I told him, look, I'm not fucking having this discussion with you. And that was it. Not long after, I decided to remove him from the server and ban him. And
Yeah.
he went and cried to everybody in the clan that I kicked him. And he took away all the young lads that were going to be really big in AFA.
Yeah.
And me and I'd flipped big time on this. We fucking went mental. Absolutely
Yeah.
mental. So they left. They built their own clan. It was called, I think it was called EOG or something like that. Elite Outcast
Right.
Gaming. Led by Troy, CD Foreman, and this guy, fucking Unforgiven. So he then made up this shit about me that I'm controlling. I've got a big chip on my shoulder. If I'm that controlling, I'd have everybody wearing suits and fucking. I'd want everybody to have a top for AFA when they stream. I would want people to
Yeah.
talk a certain way. That's controlling. I'm just asking
Yeah.
people to game, be online. If you can't
Just
do
be
a
active a
role,
little bit.
drop it. You know what I mean? I'm not asking a lot, and it just was really ridiculous. Hyde said, Hyde at this point, Paddy's missus doesn't know.
Yeah.
Hyde was in the chat, and Paddy's missus has a go at Hyde, saying, "Oh, you lot have let him down, and I can't believe you've all treated him like this." And I got the brunt end of it, and it just really upset him. So
Yeah. Of course it would.
I'd snapped and went, "Who the fuck is this fucking little fucking Rottweiler having a go at me?" Do you know what I mean? And I said, "Oh, the dramas you get with gaming." And it's not that we create the drama, it's how it's unfolded. That people can't keep things away from general chat. They can't keep things to a private domain. There's a way of
Yeah,
dealing
I
with it.
agree.
And like, soon as someone's pressed send on that keyboard and it's gone into that chat, people have seen it. It doesn't matter whether you delete it or you keep it there. People have already seen it.
People have
So,
already seen it. They may not have replied, but they've seen it. Like,
you
they've
know,
got the
so
notification.
all we can do is try and calm down this situation to what it's about to become. So that's all we did. And eventually she left. Um, she left the server and went with those. And then so we had another divide, if you like. So we pulled
Losing
Aussie.
count.
Yeah, so we had some streamers in and stuff. Then, not long after they left, we had another fucking glitch in the system.
Wonderful.
We had an American guy called Stuntman. Now, he came to us and he was a pretty decent guy at first. But he reckoned he was better than me. He reckons he can do everything better than me. So me and I'd removed one friend of his one day because he was acting a bit unusual. Next thing we know, boom, fucking straight from the off. Oh, who's removed this? His missus was going off, giving it the mouth in the server. It was just an headache, you know. Stuntman decided he was going to leave because whatever reason. He gave a shitty reason about his family. The next thing I knew, he set up this fucking server to do with Legends. I'd never seen anything so piss poor in my life. Legends. Fucking, he's far from a legend than fucking the chicken legend meal.
Yeah. Oh man, I missed that. Oh, why would you bring up some good memories?
And I was like, what the fuck is he? And I was like, I don't believe it. I was like, I know. So we had a load of people leave then. Just kick us when we're down, you know.
Yeah.
So they all left around the same time. I don't know if I've got the order right or whatever, but that's what I remember. And it got to a point where I actually thought maybe this was the end of AFA for me. I was really thinking, fuck, we've hit low. And I'm thinking, how many times have I hit this and I've managed to get back? Am I really going to give up? Old man said, don't give up. Don't be stupid. He always says, look,
the wise man himself.
You're on the train. This is the track. You're not getting off now. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and this is how it is. You know, you got to keep going. So I had it with old man support. I got back on the horse, as you do. Carry on going. Managed to bring in some more new people, and we rebuilt again. And yeah, it's been going really well. That's when Radders joined. And
my friend, the legend Ratters. What a man.
Radders joined. We had Frog and some others, and we started to really develop then. Radders came from TDP, and he said he much prefer being with AFA. And like I say, I'm not going to tell his story, but he just said AFA is where he wants to be, so that was it. I made it the best home he could have. I treated him well. We was all good to him. Hyde was in and out of games at this time. A lot of people was like dropping off of games because COVID was starting to end a little bit. It's starting to subside. A lot of people it was hard to recruit. But we carried on going. We did okay, even though Stuntman screwed us over, taking all our streamers. We carried on going. My streams dropped to like 3 or 4. I was on like I was getting raids endlessly before because I was getting like a raid of 74, a raid of 50. Now I get nothing. So,
Yeah.
but I managed to get number one in Farming Simulator for my streaming, which is this.
It's the most random game, but it's absolutely brilliant.
And
You have
that is a
literally a
certificate to
flash.
me for streaming and making content over the years of Farm Sim when it released. And I applied to be a content creator for them. I passed. And I won. I got that award. A lot of others got it as well. But I wanted a game where I was going to be appreciated, you know, because there's a lot of games out there that you
Of
don't.
course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. No, like it's not often that you get awarded for playing and creating content for a specific game.
No.
You might get a content creator award, but you wouldn't get a content creator for a specific game.
No, that's it. And like I've got a lot of awards. I did Halo and I've won on the Z League. I've got like number 1, number 2s, number 3s. And I've progressed up into like the pro division and I got 9th, which I thought was shit.
Jesus. That's
Said
not
to
shit. That's fucking good.
I said to Orange, what am I going to do? And I was stressing because I don't like 9th. I played a bit more and I think I got 3rd. But I want to do it again because I feel like I need to get that first spot. So, but yeah,
There's that achievement that's in your reach that you want.
So I really did play well, and Z League was so fucking tough as well because you had to play your game and get the best score, and I was playing on my own. You know, I didn't have a team boosting my kills or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made a lot of achievements through that, and obviously my brother's esports with his FIFA and stuff, so he helped me to guide me through the esports side of stuff, like how it runs and that.
Yeah.
That's how I got my knowledge. So when people come into the server and say, "Oh, it should be done this way, it should be done that way, it should be done this should be this way," I'm sorry, but like, I know my shit. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I'm in my lane. I've been doing this for 6 years now. And if some little plonker's going to come in the clan and say this should be done this way or this should be done, I'm not going to fucking listen to him because I have done it. I've been here, right? And I've never ever been at a point where I've fucked up or whatever. You know, I've never if I fucked up, I've managed to repair it. I've never got to the point where I've put down my tools and said that's it. I take no shit.
Yeah.
I take no shit, and I've never have done, because the reason is once you start being too soft, then, you know, people start to walk over you. And it doesn't mean being nasty. It doesn't mean you've got to be a certain way. You just got to know. And if you know, that's how you act. And anyway, we had Frog join. And he's been a great guy for so long. We had Jordan. And me and Jord started talking to Jord when he joined. We had such a laugh at first. It was me, Frog, Radiz, Jord. We had a guy called Lucky, very fucking good at gaming, but I wouldn't say he was amazing. He was just good.
Yeah.
I watch like, what is it? When I watch like FaZe and stuff like that, they're fucking good. And this guy was telling me that he was comp really good, but he was just like clutching a few rounds. It's not they were dramatic wins, you know. But he was he was good. He was good. Give him his due. And like, I used to watch Jord and I like watching Jord play COD because he's got an unusual stance, the way he plays and stuff. And he's good at sniping as well. And that's why I like the way Jord plays, because he plays, he likes snipers, and like, it's very, I find it hard to set up snipers on my own. But he set one up, and I
Same.
started using it, and it was really good setup, to be honest. And that was the last Modern Warfare with sub base and hotel and
Yeah.
all those, yeah. And it was really, we did really well. We played the old one, was it Terminal? Oh, had a great game on there, watching Jord play. And I've always said, you know, like, if I ever got to build another COD team, they'd have to be good, you know.
Yeah.
And these guys were really good. They were getting there. Radis, well, he was just on another level. He was good at like clutching rounds. He was really good at
He was another level
communication.
back in the day.
He's really good at communication, Radis is. And that's the key thing in a team. I've always said, if you've got the
100%.
communication, you've got the eyes, so you don't really have to think so much. You've just got to know what, because he can pinpoint where they are, and then you just he's batting them up for you because he knows where they are. Then you just come along and shoot
Yeah.
them. So you don't really need
Yeah,
a
he knows how to
fucking,
play.
you don't really need a UAV because you just need a Radis. You know,
Yeah, I'm not joking. He's able to read people's plays and judge people's plays really well. Like, so he knows where they're going to be at all times.
yeah,
He's a ridiculous player.
yeah. So we did quite well with that, and we got a few little scrappy matches online, different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gone quite well. And then we got a few more players in to make the team up. We had some Americans join. We thought this would be really good. I obviously got Mandalorian to join. Been supporting my streams, and he'd been a really good part supporting. I never had any issues with anybody else afterwards, previous to all the stuff going on. So I had quite a easy sailing thing. I think we got an ad in 15 minutes, 15 seconds. Sorry, ad coming in, guys. Do apologise. We'll cut back in a second.
Ad. I wonder how long is this one going to be?
I don't know. So yeah, we're just we've got the frog situation coming up and the Americans, and then we're pretty much where we are now, and then it's question time.
We have a few sort of quick fire questions in my head.
Yeah. But I've ad free, no more, no.
No, there's still ads. He just subscribed, so
he subscribed, yeah, so we're all right for a bit.
I still only get 5-second ads. Great.
Yeah, so it's been good so far. I've tried to cover as much as I can.
All you can do is cover as much as possible, and that's it.
I just feel like, you know, that it's a story, whether it's right or wrong, you know, and end of the day, some things were done in a certain way for a certain reason. Like, you know, some people aren't meant to be in the same group together. Some people are, you know.
This is it. People match energies or they don't match energies, and sometimes it's nice to play with people for a time, and then things go separate ways.
It's like they say, you know, you can't really work for family, which is true.
No, you can't. That's one thing I've seen it properly with my parent, my outlet, and my brother. Didn't work well for years.
Yeah.
Just arguments.
Let us know when you're back, guys, so we can get cracking on the next edition. I don't know if have I missed anything out, old man. Let me know in the chat. If there's anything I've missed out, just prompt me. Trying to get everything. But yeah, had some real good times over the period of playing.
Yeah, you do though. Like it's
meeting old man was fucking legendary. You know, like I picked him up out of nowhere. Then boom, here he is.
A Wild Pricey has reappeared.
Yes.
I think he's busy playing It Takes Two.
Yeah, good game.
I haven't played it yet, now, to be honest.
That's your relationship.
Well, I think it is because he's playing with Georgia.
Yeah, it tests your relationship, that game. I've come close when I was playing with Hallison on it that we We almost didn't speak for a few days.
He never left. Yeah, no, I haven't played it now yet. I don't know
There's some
if I will
levels
play it
on
at
there
some point.
where you know you're waiting for the other person to come along and get to that part, and it's fucking.
She's sleeping in the garden tonight. You're playing with a blind man. I can just imagine your bald head screaming at her.
I
Do
know.
it this way.
I know. Literally, there's this one bit where you have to jump on like music blocks and get it right, and I could never remember. I think I nearly broke the controller at that point.
I will stand. I actually can't stand through it anymore. As well, say I've never broke a controller, but
Yeah.
yeah, my square button doesn't work on this one
Is
now
everyone
anymore
back?
because I dropped it too much and I had to use that one. But I knew I had to buy a new one.
No way.
I was gonna get another white one, but I said, you know what? I was like, if I'm getting a new controller, I'll forget which one's which.
Mad.
Yeah, the way it goes.
Are we all back now? We all back? Yeah. So let's carry on. You ready for the next part? This is so. We had
Drama Central this time.
Oh, it's getting to it. So we had obviously Frog. Been just over a year. We had other people joining. Hyde wanted to go and build his drifting group. So, but he wanted to do like a tournament for drifting or something like that.
Yeah.
And I never was one to stop people what they wanted to do. And he got into cars because he wanted a wheel and stuff. So I said, look, if you want to go and do that, that's fine. Look,
Yeah,
I know you don't like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So he went off and did his thing. He got a few people together. He got Voltic Ollie into the Discord as he was 18 and he joined. We did open AFA Academy for kids.
All right.
16 to 18, and we was going to get people to run it. But the people that we had, they left with Stuntman, and we didn't have people to go. And I found out that they were running this Legends because they kept putting it on their streams, and I thought, how tacky, you know. And we lost some really good people, do you know what I mean? Like, they were really good people. I thought it was a bit stupid. Out of all the knowledge that I've got, and they go off with this stranger, I thought it was very bizarre. But that's how it works. That's how it works, you know. Like, they're like pigeons; they just follow the crumbs, you know. Literally, that's how it works. It doesn't matter like how knowledgeable you are. It's who's got the bag of food, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
He was going to build a server, and he was like got all the ideas, but like I'd never fucking seen him do anything. I had, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, is this guy can do a better job than me? Then fucking go ahead, because
Exactly.
I'm the one that's going to be able to sleep at night. He won't, because he's always going to be thinking of what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah.
I don't lose a wink of sleep. No one ever keeps me up because I know what my plan is for the next day with AFA. I know what I want to do. I know where it should be. And if it comes to the point where people leave, I just act on it. And if I've brought in so many over the years in AFA, thousands, if not that, like thousands, I can definitely recruit. I can definitely bring people to AFA. You know, they haven't got to like me. They haven't got to love me, but they just need to respect. They just need to respect who I am and like what I've brought them here for, because I don't take no shit, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
I don't take no shit.
But you
And
can't.
and as much as people don't like to see a leader because you get like with politics and stuff, I'm not here for those reasons to make it difficult for you to live in the server and put taxes in and stuff like that people have to pay. Like in other clans, they charge for people to be in the clan by you pay like a subscription and you get like discounts and all that. I'm not doing all that. Like, that is fucking stupid. You join a Discord to play games for free. If you want the merch, that's different. So
Yeah.
I've updated the website to what it is now. I've
Looks
made
mighty fine.
I've made the changes. I've done all the research, learning. I've learned the Discord, building a website, the bots, you name it. I've had to do all this. I've not asked anybody to do it or paid anybody. I've done this myself. You go into all these other clan servers, it looks like a fucking right mess. Like, I go in there and I think, like, of those people that have a corner shop on the side of the road, you know, that don't have a proper roof. That's what I look at. And then you
Yeah.
look at ours. Ours looks like fucking the Colosseum, you know,
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm looking at it here now again.
where all the gladiators are sat, a fucking open roof with the sun shining. But them, no. That's what I look at it like. And it's just like, but they'd rather be there. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was it. We move forward. That's how we go forward. I made the next plan. Frog was going to help Radders run the team, even though he was too busy playing teacups and whatnot with his friend, King of Hull. Radders was the main guy that was doing everything, and he never got no credit for it. Only me that was giving him credit, saying he done well. And eventually, when Ollie joined, these Americans, there was Alpha that was in there. He said, "Oh, I've got some people that would come in," and he brought them in. He kept having these situations where he would have, "Oh, I'm having a real bad spell this week. I'm mentally down," and you wouldn't hear from him. And you'd see him online playing. It was when Skull and Bones was out, and he was playing with Pika at the time that was in, and I was like, it's funny that someone's got these fucking mental issues, but he can function to play a game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if it was me, I'd be lay in the bed, just either trying to read a book or just relaxing. I wouldn't even be on the games. Do you know what I mean? If I was really mentally fucking dysfunctioned, like I didn't want anybody to talk to, I wouldn't be playing games.
No.
Some people deal it in their own way, which is fair enough, but it wouldn't be me, because the way I see it is, if you're playing a game, you've got to think. That's using your mind. You don't want to be using your mind to think. If you're reading, you're just reading what the words are. And reading is a great, So I just watched this guy like just fucking dissolve in front of me, just like, and I made events. He attended. It got better for a bit. Then it was the same again. It was always up and down. And I know there was always people that had got issues, and I was always fair.
Exactly.
But I thought, this is getting too repetitive. And then the words start fleeting into people's minds. It's not very active here. There's not much going on. And that was because that Hyde wasn't here to do the events like he was, because he used to do Tuesday events. Radders was taking on a lot of work at the time, and he couldn't always put events on. And
life gets in the way sometimes.
And I would put events on, nobody would turn up, and that, and it got to a stage where I really thought this was shit. We had Beastman come to be a mod, and he started to see things that were happening. And Beastman being Gaz, and he said to me, he said, "Look, this is what's fucking going on. Like, people are just not joining and stuff."
Yeah.
Mrs. said to me, she said, so she was very, very clever. She got everybody right. She told me who not to trust, who to trust, and she was really spot on. I'm like, I've never known anybody to be so fucking spot on.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I didn't have to think, because she was like the brains. Even though that I knew that there was something wrong, she had it already added up. It was like me looking in a mirror. Like, so I said, obviously she loves AFA, but gaming's not really for her at this precise moment. It was just how we got brought together. But she does play a few games, but she hasn't played a lot recently because things have moved on. But she's always very, very clued up with people.
Yeah.
I thought I was a bit of a bad guy, at this point.
Oh, you're terrible, mate.
Because
you're absolutely terrible.
Because I could sense another divide happening, but I didn't know when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I decided pull away and see what happened. I pulled away. I made some videos to try and prompt them to think that I was giving up. I made some real big like podcast on my own, which is out on the pages and stuff. Nothing like this. And I thought to myself that this is the worst point I've ever had. Everybody could literally leave AFA. I didn't want to do it anymore. I said, like, I didn't want to do it. I felt like this was bad. At the same time of me going through this stage of Alpha being a dick, being up and down with his mental health and not being honest and stuff, and then 1 minute he's playing with people, the next minute he was like, he wanted to, like, he said he would play a game with me and then he wouldn't turn up. Then I was trying to get a COD team together and trying to sort teams out. It was just really all over the place. And I was like, no, this isn't right. I wanted to give up everything, if I'm honest. I felt like AFA had run enough. I felt like I outrun everybody. Everybody that's built a clan, right, that left has failed. And there's a reason for that. Because all these people that have left AFA to build all these shitty fucking little gnome homes, right, have never got very far because they've built it on hate. They've built it on the fact that they hate me and they don't like what I do. And if you build anything on hate, it's never going to last. If you want to build a foundation on good stuff, you got to build it with, you know, people that actually believe in what you're doing, and it's got to be not just about hate. And that's why that's why a lot of these clans have failed, because they built it in spite. They built it for wrong reasons. I built AFA for the happiness of gaming, for people to stream, play games, enjoy it, dominate online. And when I mean dominate, I don't mean shooting a body and winning a game. I mean dominating leaderboards. I mean overcoming the odds of, I can't play this game because I'm not skilled enough. We teach you and take you to the next step. You know yourself. You started playing COD. You play a lot better now, don't you?
Oh, I play ridiculous now compared to what I was even years ago. I used to go constantly negative. But after joining this, I was just like, started getting really good, and even the help of Pricey there. Pricey was able to build me up and get me a lot better than what I was. You know, everyone around me has helped me even improve into a massively different player than what I used to be.
That's it. And that's what it's about. It's coming together to learn to play as a team, to be that player that you never thought you could be. I've always been a good player. I've never been absolutely fantastic. I've been sharp. I've been good with a sniper, and that's it. I used to play for CEM back in the MLG days. Battlegrounds, what it's called, is it Battleground? What was it called? Battle.net. That was it. Clan battles, that. It was called Clan Battles, and you signed your team up. It would tell you when you're doing it. It'd give you a notification on your phone. You join a game, and you play. I was part of CEM. My brother got me in. They were in the top in the world, whatever they were. They were called Crazy English Mafia. They were really good. It was when World at War was out, and I wanted to be their sniper because he said there was a place going, and I had no way of playing comp. I was getting like 4 kills a game. I wasn't good enough, but he said to me, if I learn S&D, you could use a sniper, you could get good, and you'd be really good. So he trained me up to be a sniper. They didn't pick me in the end. They picked this other lad. He was a little more better, more agility. He knew the maps better than me. He knew the spawns. So I said, fuck it. So I let them play. My brother stuck with them for a good 6 months. Then he left. We set up our own clan called Kill. And we got on a bit further with it. But I developed my esports niche there. how to play good, solid, fast, and
How to
stuff like
build
that.
like
So yeah, so I knew what I was talking about when I wanted to build a teams and stuff like that. So when Frog came into the equation of building these teams and stuff, I needed him to be active. He wasn't active.
yeah.
We had Pika playing the blind man that was trying to like tell us different things that were going on, which were far from the truth than ever. Um, it come to the point, they come to the boiling point. This did where the pot was really getting bad, and all these people left, and Frog.
With
He
himself.
While I was as soon as I come back to AFA, they all left,
Mm.
and all they could say it was my fault because of my actions towards one person that was trying to promote drugs in my AFA, and I didn't want it. And that was the reason why they left, is because I couldn't let that one person in. And
Yeah.
he was called Loki. And I I I can't let somebody promote drugs in a community that's sponsored by
No.
that could be sponsored by Rafe Energy, you know, and have the people that we have here. I can't just go and let that happen. As much as I would love to have everybody there, I can't. It like I don't know how people expect things to run. You know, it's not like a fucking kids playpen where long as they play
Exactly.
nice, it's going to be fine. You've got to really look at the other things. You know, you don't know whose people's jobs are outside of this. They could be police in the server. They could be people
Yeah.
that can report. And you don't want anything like that going down in the server. So you've got to be very respectful of what could happen. And I was
This
thinking
is it.
ahead.
You have to be careful of your words, like.
Yeah, exactly. That is it. And I mean, like, if you were to join somewhere and you saw like weed everywhere, you wouldn't be like, I don't. So I asked him to change his picture. That's all I asked. He
Yeah.
got irate about it and fucking kicked off. Next thing I knew, all these people left, and I just watch them left server, and it's like a domino, like going down. Like you see so many people leaving, but at the same time, I thought this is a cleanse to the server. Nobody wanted to fucking be here, you know. This is what I thought, and this is where I got real dark, and I was like, do you know what? Fuck them. I hope they fucking rot, because they never ever wanted to be an AFA. Every time they was in
Mm.
AFA, they would moan about it, complain about it. They complain about the way I fucking run it. And I
Yeah.
didn't, at the end of the day, I thought, "Do you know what? Fuck them. They go doing what they want to do in their own fucking playpen. They can do what they want to do." They were always like giving it the big in. We had two little love interests, and they used to go, "Oh, do you want to eat my taco? I'll eat yours." And it was fucking disgusting to see, you know, like
Yeah.
it was dirty and horrible, like,
Yeah.
and ratty. I didn't want to see that. Like fucking, I don't
Yeah.
write that towards my missus in the server, and I wouldn't expect anybody to read that. Do you know what I mean? It was disgusting,
Yeah.
you know. And like, I got to the point where I've had enough of this, you know. And I actually said at one point, I don't want to see that in the chat, but yeah, they didn't like me one bit.
Yeah.
Now I've got quite a reputation, um, you know, online, not for being a dick, not, you know, quite well
Yeah.
known for being a leader, because I know what I stand for. Um, Towards the end of division, I used to get a lot of people actually. I actually redeemed myself in the Division 2. There's a guy called Reggie I get on with. He posted in there. I went on there with him before I fell out with Rambo, and I managed to patch things up on the division side. So I didn't want to make anything worse this point after the frog situation, because I've already had my shout outs that I've helped people in the division, even though with some of the clans I was still presently a bad person because of the
Mm.
dark zone stuff. We used to do stuff. So I knew from that point that I couldn't be as bad as what happened before, but I knew this was going to be bad. And
Yeah.
Radis said to me, he said, I'm not going to leave. I said, well, it's your choice. You can follow them or you can stick with me. I got out of Gaz and I told him what happened, and he goes, I can't believe this. He goes, hold a meeting and I'll be there. So that's what I did. We had paramedic in there, we had Pika, and you would think, after spending money on merch that you've bought and supporting, you wouldn't just walk after spending money on merch. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
And you come to a meeting and you say nothing. You just sit there and take in like they're sniffing glue. Like literally sniffing glue. I was there and I was telling them, look, I don't like what's gone on, but I'm back now. Things need to change. And I was saying this, things are going to be done the correct way. And all I could hear was down the microphone, fucking loads of fucking shit. And I was like,
I'm doing tune it, like.
I was like, what the fuck is it? And they were playing the meeting on their phone and sending it into another voice channel so everybody could laugh at me. That's what they were doing. I knew what they were doing. I wasn't thick.
Yeah.
So I basically said, look, I know you don't have to fucking say anything. Look, you don't need to be here. Go. So they said, no, I want to hear what you want to say. I said, oh, you actually have a voice. And then Frog said he wanted to speak. So he was coming back from work. He came in the comms. And these words were to me, and this is how it sounded. Right? He come on. And I said, right, Frog, what you got to say, mate? Are you staying or going? And he goes, I'll stay if you fuck off out of AFA because you are not a leader. You're a good friend, but you're not a fucking leader. I'll tell you that now. And he goes, the way you've treated people in this clan, he goes, you're lucky you've got one. And I was like, wow. And Gaz stepped in and said, don't speak to Si like that. You don't need to swear. What have you... So he said, so Si ain't going anywhere. He goes, well, I'm not staying in AFA. The way he runs it is wrong. I'm a better leader than him. I've been doing it and I do better. I'm going.
Yeah.
And that was it. He left. He left the call. And just before he left, Gaz stepped in and said, don't you fucking speak to people like that, you little prick. You know, and then he gone. And Gaz said, moment. Yeah, Gaz had lost it. He goes, if I ever fucking see him, I'm going to fucking smack his face in because the way he speaks to people is wrong. His attitude, I call it a babby ass, basically. Someone that's been spoiled, that couldn't get their sweets, and they've dropped them out on the car park, and they can't pick them up, and they're crying. That's what it come across as, a fucking babby ass, right? And I'll never forgive Frog for what he's done, and I'll never ever be as friendly as what I've ever been to him ever again, because he really, really, really fucking said some harsh words that I'll never forget. And he's going to fucking...
need for it either, like.
And like, I've done a lot for him. I let him come in this clan. I've helped him. He even said that Radders did fuck all. And I thought that was bad. How they got on and worked together. I thought that was so bad that they gelled. Like, they should have never fell out, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they probably talk now. I'm sure they get on a bit more better, but like, it was very hostile at this point, you know. And that's when FRG become a thing. And it was all sparked off by this alpha from America because he was putting little Chinese whispers in people's minds, saying he could do this, he could do that. And that's what people need to realize is, are you being led on, or are you actually... What's it? And they've ruined a good chance here. Do you know what I mean? They've ruined a good opportunity because, like, the people that we have here now are amazing. They're a good laugh, good bunch, but like they've ruined it. Bunch of people here. You know. So obviously that's how FRG become, and then that's how it was. Cal and Tism saw the whole fallout and everything that was in the server, and they just said to me, they said, "We're not going anywhere. we appreciate your side. I holded meetings afterwards for the whole clan, them to decide
Yeah.
which fence they wanted to lie on. I hated the fact that people had to make sides, but I needed to know where people wanted to be. You can't move forward unless you know the full things. And it took weeks for people to decide, you know what I mean? We had people in that wouldn't speak. I told them the truth and it still wasn't good enough. Then Frog started poaching players from us that didn't want to go there to try and turn the key to make them go. And that's
Yeah.
what really pissed me off. And if you're in your, if anybody in their mind think Frog is a great guy, you know, for doing that, they're delusional, because like who would do that to someone that's been building a clan for so long, to just go and fuck him over like that?
Yeah.
Like, you would speak to him and discuss it, try and come to a way where we can talk about it. No, he didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to fucking fight about it. So,
Yeah.
you know, I wasn't having it, you know, and I don't like drama. And I'm so glad,
Same.
I'm so
Fucking hate
glad.
it.
And do you know what? Like, we've had little hiccups here and there, but drama wise, it's been very minimal in the server. And, you know, Hyde brought Frog in and he felt really bad. And I said, look, it's not your fault. I said, I said to him, whether you get on with him or not, I said, that's your decision. You know, I'm not here to make people's minds up. But the way he spoke to me, I wouldn't speak to my mom like that. I wouldn't expect them to speak to me like that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't speak to
Exactly.
anybody. It's bad, you know, and to come in with that language at me, and like, I don't need to put swear words into the
No.
way I come over to make me look bad or to make me look stronger. You know, I just have the knowledge. I have the experience, and look where it's got him. I don't think it's standing now, is it, FRG? You know,
Yeah.
where are you now, Frog?
Probably
Merged with
not.
someone else, have you? Couldn't do it. Not good enough.
Started up a new one, FLG.
I want to be a frog. and
Oh,
like,
so
I did,
rude.
you know, he didn't get very far. Like, where did it get you? Where did it get you having a go at me? Nowhere. Where's all these people that have got, and we go, you know where Will is now? He's streaming on Kick, people he don't know. And
All
to be
right.
fair to him, I don't even know even if he's still gaming, you know, because he does this and then he stops. And every clan that I've come across has stopped. Stuntman, I've never seen him live anymore. Don't even care.
Really?
Nope, never seen him. Everybody I've spoke to that used to stream with us has stopped. I mean, obviously Orange stopped for a different reason. But yeah, there's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
OG, the OGs, and me, Maverick, Colin, Hyde, Beast Panda. I think he does a bit of streaming now and again, but he's slowly getting his set up back together at some point. He's just
Yeah.
he's working. Alpha Thacker don't do it anymore because he's gone just straight gym and health routine, and he's a big gym rat and stuff, and he's running his business or something like that. So he comes in the
Jesus.
stream. But everybody that's come across me has failed, and that's because they see
do
me
fail.
as a threat, or they want to try and do better. They see AFA as a place where they want to ruin, and I just find it bad that people actually think that, you know, like, we've built this for a reason, for people to be happy and safe, and they look at it as like a place where they want to like prize people away and do shit, and it's bad. It's real bad. Like the fact that they want to ruin someone's home where they
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
You know, it's people's homes that they're ruining, that where they game at night. And
Some people just like to make their beds and lay in it.
yeah,
It's the only way to put that. It's all they want to do.
so this concludes the story of where I am now. You know,
Now we're up to this point.
I've achieved so much over the time, but also lost as well. You know, and whether people have changed, that's good. I've changed because I wanted to change, because like the way society is now, you have to be very careful with what you say and how you speak to
What you
people.
do and fucking
So
everything.
I if people get the blunt end of me, I'm not being horrible. It's just how I am. You know, I'm trying to be a
This
nice
is it.
person to everybody, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, you can throw roses and rocks at my greenhouse. You know.
Exactly. That's the way it is. But like, it's not just AFA with you. We're beginning a new Nexus League and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
slowly but surely that's building nicely. And
You don't want me to
we're
talk
two different
about.
leagues.
You don't want me to talk about why I made Nexus League, do you?
Have we got till 7 a.m.?
We'll go up. We've got time for this. So this is how it's Nexus, right? I started Nexus, get the information because I wanted to build a league. It was free for everybody. I started making it, and I wasn't getting any luck, to be honest. It was just falling on deaf ears. I said, "I'm making a league. I'm making a league," and I had like the logos done and everything. I had a bit of clips put out on TikTok, as you usually do.
Yeah.
Wasn't getting anywhere. No one was interested. Then Shorty from TDP says, "You're running a league?" Yeah, I'm running a league. Oh, can I help? I was like, "What are you going to do?" She goes, "Well, I'll run it. We'll do it together if you want." I was like, "Okay." So that's what happened. But I wasn't part of it, was I? I wasn't the fucking mod team. I wasn't the admin team. It was just them running it.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it's EU League everywhere. So we join it. Talentism go in with the team. Radders as well. Harry goes in. And a few others. We struggled to get a team. We had Mush, fucking great lad. I brought him in. Thomas Mush.
Yeah.
Great lad, and he's solid at COD. Plays GTA as well. And we got a team set together. They joined the league. There's a few teams in there. BLG had a few teams. I think it was 2 at the time. And there was a few others in there. TDP had their 2 teams. They had Mumbles and all that in there. And the league was going really well, to be honest. It was quite a nice league when it started out. But Al kept coming to me and saying, "Look, the rules aren't right. The points aren't right. This ain't right." And he said, they were getting really upset because the rules kept changing, the things kept changing. So Cal went to XPL League to look at what they got to offer, and they was looking to get into that. So we won the EU League a few times, and they decided to move to XPL League because they wanted a proper league to challenge. So I tried to get some players, but trying to find comp players on Callum's level, it's like trying to pick gold out of the air. It's fucking difficult. This guy is godly at COD. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about a guy here.
He's ridiculous. Like,
we're talking about a guy that's close to 250 in the world, if not that. Right? He's fucking iridescent and higher. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. He's ridiculous.
He's got his turns like an owl, and his shooting's better than fucking the sniper, the American sniper. You know what I mean? Like literally, that's solid. We're talking. It took me a good few weeks. I couldn't find anyone. He managed to get a few people from BLG. I think it was Jack and Barry. I didn't really like Barry, if I'm honest. I thought he was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
I never really liked him, if I'm honest. Never really liked Barry. I've always clashed with him, like his attitude. Everybody else liked him, but I never liked him. I got on well with Jack a bit and everyone else, but I never really liked Barry. I don't know why. If I don't like someone, I don't like someone. I think it was because the way he was a bit childish, BLG, the way they were, and then jumping from them, I didn't know what to think. So they joined and they played in the league. It got a bit funny, and Cal had a go at a few people, and we pulled out of it. Um, we we decided that BLG, they're not right for players, as you know. So I
Yeah,
had to keep my eye on Barry and that. Anyway, they went to the XPL League with these guys in the playoffs. They did really well, but
yeah,
they said that Barry was really good in this, that, and the other. But I never really saw a lot from Barry. It was mainly Callum and Tism. Um, Jack was pretty good, but sometimes I saw him stood still. Um, However, they were a very good team. They did really well,
yeah.
and then they had an offer to go and play for a bigger team. So I thought,
Really?
well, I'm not spending money on a team that I didn't build. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't really want to do that. And in all fairness, I felt kind of bad that Radders was out the picture because
Mm.
I brought Radders in to be good. I trained him up to be good, and he was only on the bench. Even though he said
Yeah.
he at the time he couldn't focus into that type of comp, and
Mm.
he's even though that he was nearly on par with Tism, probably sometimes a little bit better,
Yeah.
he wasn't consistent enough. I felt, and he had a lot of things going on Radders at the time. Um, so things went away, and that was it. They went to a different. They went into the league, and me and Radders had to look for a new team then.
Yeah.
Um, Callum and Tism have always been honest. We had Corey in. He was a really good player, but he decided to go. He'd been in a
Yeah.
few. He'd been in his fair share, so that was it. Now he couldn't come back, which was sad because he was such a great guy, but always wanted to train people and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
but the things move on. You can't, your clan's got to keep going. You can't stop for people.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
me and Radders got together. We started to try and look around. That's when I brought Pricey in. I messaged him
Mm.
online. I thought, oh, he's some Shrewsbury, fucking sound. I thought an actual lad that's on my level. I thought this is gonna go down well. Like I need someone on my level here because like I, I I like to have local people around because they understand me better, you know. And I haven't got someone over the seas trying to have a go at me. So I brought Pricey in, and at this point, that's when I was having I started having a little bit of issues with the American side that Mandalorian had got with all those, and it was starting to get a bit restless with the
Yeah.
Americans. They said that we were favouring the UK side too much, and not really. It's just that we had a way of working things out, and with the time zones and stuff. That was that. Gamma was trying to lead with Mando. We got a few others in, Don and stuff like that. Um, it was going really well actually, but the problems
Yeah.
is that I found is that the more you add to it, the worse it gets. So I just left it alone.
Exactly.
Pricey brought Sam in, which he was a bit of
Yeah.
a
Didn't
mouth.
end well.
He was a bit of a mouthy dick from the off. Um, I I kind of liked Sam at first because I thought I could make him become something. Make something out
American.
of him. You know what I mean? Because I've always done well with Sam, and I Pricey said he was good, and I trust Pricey in his judgment and that.
Yeah. Of
But
course.
unfortunately, he fell out with Baker and stuff like that led to another, and I was like, we can't let this carry on because it's going to just be a constant pattern, and we can't
Yeah.
keep changing teams. As how it was going, and to be honest, like Pricey said in his podcast, he burnt his fingers, Sam, because he went with Leighton and screwed
Yeah.
Price's team over. And
It was a
The
shit time
stuff
that
that
was.
he sent to Pricey is not what you send a friend. And
Absolutely not.
and I always said, look, if someone respects me, I respect them. But you fucking
Exactly.
cross me, that's it. And that's the way it is. That's my dark side. You cross me, that's it. Don't ever think that it's going to be great, because what people don't realize is that I'm that's so socially plugged. I've got groups that I run. I've got people that I'm in contact with that other clans. I run a clan union. I
Yeah.
have the most of everything. I speak to
You'll
most
have your hand in every pockets.
I have got eyes everywhere. I have got spies everywhere, and I know what everyone is up to. And I know that I don't need to keep looking around because I know what's going on. I know. I don't need to read it. I don't need to see it. I just know in my head how it
Exactly.
is because of the experience I've had and how it's going. If you don't hear nothing off anybody, you know it's shit.
Hey, this is the way it is.
That's
It's
how it is.
exactly the way it goes. Like, it's one of them
So,
things, but you have to have your hand in many pockets,
so,
otherwise
um,
you're not going to do much.
so yeah, not long after Sam left, me and Mandalorian had a bust up over this fucking dude, Evo. And he still to this day wants to fly over to the UK and smash my face in. Mandalorian does, but
If
you
he
know,
could afford it, it'd be alright.
yeah, if he can afford it. But like, the funny thing is, this guy has fell out with me, and he's not known this guy 2 minutes, and he's ran with him. Like, I've supported Mandalorian no end of times. I've kept him in AFA. I've always been thought good about him. I've respected him, but he couldn't respect me by sticking with me like old man has. Yeah, he plays most of the games. He plays most of his games on his own, but he's never left AFA. He's never said, "Oh fuck AFA,"
Yeah,
because I play on my own. I've always said, this is your home. This is your home. I'm not going to kick you. You're not dual clanning. You're not making things difficult for people. There's
yeah,
no reason for you to go. You know, this is
this
where
is it.
you are. You stay here, and that's how it's going to be. But
Yeah, excuse
but
me.
Mandalorian just wanted to make it difficult and say that I was the problem because I didn't put my time in the US team when I'm meant to put the US team first and make time for them when I'm probably going to be in bed. Not going to happen.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be wasting my night's sleep when they're quite capable of doing it. And
Yeah,
it come down to the point that they wanted to build their own clan. So they went and they
the
made
doubting.
E6G. Those time
Like,
zones are so difficult to run. You
I
would run
don't.
yourself out into tiredness, and then you would end up depressed, and you'd start smoking, and then you'd probably drink, and then you'd probably end up in a fucking cemetery somewhere pissing by
Yeah,
a tree.
I don't. I don't think. You know what? I actually genuinely, to this day, don't think people understand time zones,
They don't understand, and like,
and they don't understand the massive time difference there is, whether it
I've
be
got a lot of
4 hours or
respect for
8 hours.
yeah. But the thing is, I have a lot of respect for everybody. That's the thing, Niall. I have a lot of respect for people,
Yeah,
but they don't see it as, that I'm being fair. They have to judge me. You
yeah.
know, I've never judged anybody without giving them a chance.
People love to judge.
I've done so much in this, like fucking, and the way Sam treated fucking Pricey and S
That was a
and
school.
stuff. I was just like, who is this fucking guy? Just someone fucking lynch him or something and fucking tell him
Yeah,
that he can't speak to people like that because he needs to be told, and it's just like you can't tell people once they're on the high cloud
I
nine,
think some people just think that they can say what they want and there'll be no
and a lot of people.
repercussions.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And like I've had people leave AFA and they reckon it's better. I've had quite a lot. I haven't mentioned a lot of people that in this story just because they're not important, but the biggest highlights I've highlighted. But at the end of the day, I've always said if people want to be here, they'll be here. And if you can find another clan out there that's better than AFA and that's where you want to be, then enjoy it. but don't come to me when
Exactly.
if the bricks fall down and you're crying and no one wants to play with you because they just want to use you as your number. I treat people fairly here, and if people can't see that, then fuck them. I'm not here to fucking make examples. I'm not here to prove people that I'm
Mhm.
something. I'm not. It's either you take me as I am or fuck off. Simple as that. And
Yeah.
you can't change who you are. I give people a chance. They don't want to change. That's it.
And the thing is it, and sometimes just people don't want to
Yeah, I know, pricey.
from
Yeah.
taking it up, like, but that's the way to do.
So yeah, Frog and them, they'll learn the hard way. That merging with another clan doesn't work, and they'll fall out again
Mm.
because it never works.
Yeah.
Merging with other clans don't work. You know.
No.
So yeah, you know, with Pricey coming in, building the teams, he's done it. He's done amazing. I've helped him.
That's
E6G. I don't even know if they're still going. Like, I haven't heard anything about them. Last time I heard, they were getting banned out of a league.
Ah,
So that proves
fucking
a
hell.
lot, doesn't it? Getting toxic and that. So with
This
the
is it.
Nexus League, I'm going off topic a bit. So I wanted to put Nexus League because EU League was run bad. I'm not going to lie. Like, if anybody's
What
been part of it, it's run bad. Like, literally, it's on and off like a fucking light switch. Honestly, 1 minute it's all go, next minute the lights are off. Like, you can't just do that in a league. People want to know what's going on, and I'm
You have
like,
to keep it running.
what's going on here? Like, fucking 1 minute they're playing fucking, Calvin Harris fucking music. The next minute they're playing the violin like someone's fucking died.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on in here? And this is I was in there for 2 minutes and I was just looking at all the channels, not having a chat channel. Next minute having a chat channel. This is good. And even
Yeah,
in the
it was
fucking streaming section was took over to be a chat channel. I'm like, what a
Jesus
mess.
Christ.
I'm like, where's the mods in this? And then when I pull my teams out, I get told I've chalked the league. I've even got that as a screenshot. He fucking said that,
Yeah.
and he said sorry to me, and then fucking deleted it. The fucking weasel. So Papa of TDP, you can suck me dick because I don't fucking care. You're an absolute asshole.
I was
And
like,
I hope that you enjoy playing with Frog, and because you're all made for each other in your pond, and
you're
and
fucking right there.
and I thought, well, Nexus is going to be about respect. Everybody's got to enjoy it. Everyone's got to be at the place where they want to be. And
Yeah.
I think that why shouldn't I have a go? I've been quite successful in other things. Um, I've got groups that run. I've got things that do well. And I thought, do you know what? If I'm going to do it, it's got to be me. I don't want to spend money. If you go to AEL, they're going to fucking pick fault with your team. They're going to say you've got to have
Yeah.
this person here, this person there, you know. And then our team's all pulled apart. Whereas Nexus, you bring in your team, you know what it is from the off. You haven't got to pay anything. You're in.
Exactly.
So fingers crossed we can do that. And with Niall by my side, we're going to smash it. We're
We're
going to
gonna have
do
this
it,
league
bro. We're
running
going to
like,
do it, bro, aren't we? You're looking
I'm
forward
gonna
to
have
it.
a good one.
You are.
I'm looking forward to running it, like, because it should be a bit of fun, like, and making sure things are going right
So,
and in the right way, and that
yeah.
I'm not afraid of literally even someone in AFA or anything. I'm not afraid of them coming and saying, oh, or someone coming up to me and going, oh, someone in AFA was using this and they're not meant to be using this, and I look at it and I will give the lads a bollocking.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a shit. That's
it.
just me. I take no shit myself, and I'm not going to see someone getting done over like we did back in the EU League, So we're going to have a different outlook, a different way of things, and fuck anything else. If you've
That's
got a
it.
problem,
I don't care.
say it.
I don't care if people still hate me at the end of the day. If they want to lose their sleep and
That's people's own
have AFA in
decisions.
their head constantly going around, I mean, recently we've had some dickhead called Ames that fucking thinks he's Iron Mighty. Do you know what I mean? Like some little
I think he's a
kid.
big
He's just a
bollocks.
fucking BMX warrior. Smokes weed. Thinks he knows it
Yeah,
all. Like
literally,
he literally
literally.
is. Like, I've seen his pictures. He's nothing to look at. Honestly, fucking gremlins look better than him.
Yeah,
But
little trolls
it's
underneath.
literally like they're literally just idiots. They pick up a controller, they get a microphone, and next thing you know, they think they're Steve Austin from fucking the wrestling.
Yeah.
Right, so after this ad
Keep pushing on
break,
the right side.
after this ad break, we'll do some questions and then we'll wrap it up, dude.
Sweet. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be very quick.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. So we'll take an interval for a little while and then we'll be back for some questions. Appreciate everyone that's come in and watching. If you're watching back on the YouTube, don't forget to hit a like. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do. These ads, annoying. Getting annoying.
Are the ads over yet?
40 odd minutes, seconds left, I mean. Nearly
Oh,
there.
thank God for that. That was fucking good timing then. I've been sitting here for the last 20 minutes going, shit, when's the next ad break?
Yeah.
I was like, I need to pee.
It's all good, bro. Appreciate you
Oh,
hosting me on the
no
show.
worries, man. Bit of fun, you know.
I know it's been a long story, but I thought, some people like to hear it,
This is it. Some people will listen to it and just love it and enjoy it, and you know.
It is the truth, I was a bit of a dick when I was running division, but sometimes, you can't help how you
Well, you
act.
gotta be.
Sometimes you act in the moment and you think back of it later. But
It was a very big pee or very quick pee shot.
there's always people that are going to pick fault and say, "Oh, you need to do it like this, you need to do it like that." But at the end of the day, no one's succeeded
No,
higher than
they've
me.
all failed.
Obviously FaZe have, but they're different.
All these bigger teams have always been, but like they've all
I don't know anybody that
been-
has a CEO that actually recruits either. Like over 2,000 or more people I've recruited.
yeah.
And the thing is, as well, they could say, "Oh, well, how come they didn't stay?" Well, it's
I
like
tear
sheep.
people
It's
apart.
like sheep, isn't it? You can't keep sheep alive forever, can you?
No, this is it. You can't like either be like you could be a leader or you could be a follower. Some people in life are meant to be followers, and some
Yeah,
people are meant to
Pricey
be
was
shepherds.
was top 100 in Division 1. So, you know,
You weren't top fucking 5 though, were you? You dickhead. You big baldy fucker. You.
no, he wasn't top 50. We made top 50 in Division 2. I was an old man. I'll never forget that. You weren't a dick in Division. You just did what had to be done, and look where it got us. Exactly.
Which is the
This
big
is the
sheep.
big. Exactly. I want to
Right?
get old man on here for a talk. I reckon he'd love it. But
I think that'd be interesting
that's
to
if he
see.
wants to. He doesn't have to do a long talk. But I think it'd be good.
I think so too. I'd actually watch that one. As long as I'm not fucking busy doing house renovations.
I think it'd be good. But obviously,
Just on
I know Brad has caught dibs on the next one. So
haha, your message got starred out, you dick.
I know I had to. They nearly
think
got.
that Big Man.
They
I think
nearly
the Big Man
banned
was
him.
Irish.
Are we all back
That
now? Yeah, we're all back. Right, so it's question time.
it. Quick fire round.
Let's go then.
So, Mr. Silad, as we've already stated, you've got your hand in many pockets, whether it be AFA, league stuff, and so many other things.
That's right. Yeah.
Something that's not mentioned. Something that's not mentioned that often is your love for photography.
Oh yeah, I'm a very
I've
successful
seen some of the
photographer.
pictures.
Yeah. Outside of AFA, I like to take photography, pictures, like all aspects really. I've done models, I've done cars, I've done wildlife, bugs,
Hmm.
portraits. So
I've
yeah,
seen some of these photos. They're phenomenal.
yeah, I taught myself, believe it or not.
It's a way about a photo. If you can look into if you
Yeah,
can look at something and go, "That'll make a very good photo."
that's
That's when you
right.
know you have a keen eye.
I did a few streams on it, but there wasn't a lot of interest with it. But I you got to be very very good at what type of like subject you want and how it's going to look. And I edit them as well, so as it pop
Yeah.
makes them pop. So to make it pop makes more the colors stand out and stuff. And with the way things are now with technology, you can bring things a lot more forward. But yeah, I started off on my 70 70D camera. Um, I was doing raves and all sorts. Start with nightlife and things like
Mm.
that. And I just adventured out and got my 80D camera. And obviously, because I live near the countryside, it's great. I can just walk out and take pictures and stuff. So love it.
Yeah.
Been
Um.
been doing it since I was 8 years old.
Long old time.
Yeah. Um.
So another quick fire. I'm going to do a few quick fires.
Yes. Go
Another
for it.
one is music.
Okay.
You have many different songs out there, even on Spotify and stuff, and every song is completely different. It has different sort of way. Um, what brings your inspiration to making that track? What brings that idea to your head that you're like, oh, I'd love to do a track that's like this?
Okay. So I started music um a long time ago when I was living in Shrewsbury. I was lodging with somebody and he was doing music and media, and I was watching what he was doing, and he wanted me to basically work for him for free while I stopped at his place because he had a spare room. And I used to do a lot of stuff for him so I wouldn't be homeless. Um, I learned to pick up a few things like on Fruit Loops, how to make beats, um, but kind of like put reverb in and learn how to do
Yeah,
like voices and stuff, use Cubase to a certain level. I still got a lot to learn, obviously, but I've learned quite a bit over the time, and then obviously going to the raves and speaking to DJs and producers. And I've met Darren Styles, I've met Joey Riot, and some real big artists out there.
yeah,
You know, I've met some big singers like Jenna from the hardcore tracks.
yeah,
I've been I didn't get to see Scooter, but I know that I could have if I wanted to. My friends have met Recon. I never got to see him, but I met the other guy that was another guy that was really big. Um,
yeah,
and I've met a guy from Japan that it's called M Project and stuff. And so I've learned with music at different styles from Japan music, like this is different
yeah,
style and bounce and hardcore and rock and stuff like that because I've matured with different music over the years, and I did rap and I like lyrics and stuff like that. So I write lyrics down, and then what I'll do is I write them all out and stuff, and then I'll look through them to see how they fit. And
mm,
I use AI to construct the script because that's what you need to
yeah,
do. to help me out because I'm still learning it, so I'm using it as like my tutor. So I'll go to AI and I'll say, "What how's this meant to be?" And they'll
Yeah.
point me in the right direction, and I work it out. Because AI is very useful in that aspect. If you want to learn something pretty knowledgeable, so
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing. It can teach you about Discord as well and all sorts of different things. So I've used it to its aspect of being a thing, being well. And when I look at a song, I want to what what kind of audience do I want it to capture? And like some of the tracks, I want it to be about love because I know a lot of people get connected with love, and with me being in love, I know what it feels like, so I can connect well
Yeah.
with that. Also, I know how it feels to be down and depressed, how the demons can get to you. I've been in the dark places. I've been to the points of life where I'm sat on a bridge and I was wondering whether to jump or not, the darkest
Yeah.
places you would ever think of. I've been, you know, I was in a nightclub and I took on two bouncers and I got absolutely beat up. Like
We've all had situations like that.
I had a few drinks and I thought that I could be a fucking Iron Man. Like it happens, but reality is we're not all like immortal, and I got injured. But I did bust someone's lip, and I did quite well for a skinny little muscly guy. You know, but yeah, so I all these little events add to different things of in the song, like overcoming the odds, coming out of where you're meant to be. And it guides me into writing these songs and making it so
Yeah.
everybody can listen to. And when it comes to the beats, it makes me think, does this need to be a rock song, like heavy, or does this need to be like a
Mm.
bouncy song that people can enjoy?
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
the
I've
way
been
I.
listening to some of your music throughout the stream just to have some of it in my head, and I love it. Like,
Yeah, I like it to be a buzz, and like as you can see, I've got a hell of a lot of people listening to it right now.
yeah, honestly, like,
Over 200.
let's go back here. So you got 249 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
From someone who used to be a DJ and used to do music, getting even 50 monthly listeners, it's so bloody difficult.
And I like everybody that's
Old man,
listening
you
to it. I
better, mate.
appreciate. I've like really, really, gone out my way to try and like make something good. Well, I've got a good ear for music because I've learned a lot of music over the time, and I know what hits, I know what don't, you know. And
That's music for you. You
just
have to know what's out there
and
and
you got
what
to bear in
people are
mind,
wanting.
I've had my music played on the local radio no end of times, and I've had a call with
Yeah,
them.
I was just going to bring that up. You recently had a lovely little interview with, what was it, BBC Radio
Yeah,
Yorkshire or
yeah,
something?
BBC Radio, Hereford and Worcester, which is the next region across from me. I'm I'm where Gaz is. He's in the Worcestershire area. I'm in the
Yeah,
Shropshire area. So yeah, it's just
right.
across the border.
I won't pretend. I won't pretend like I know the difference. To be honest with
And
you.
so yeah, like to get it on the radio, it's pretty big. Like I feel like it's good that it's getting out there. Obviously, I don't want any money for the music because I make it for the streamers and for people to use online.
Mm,
Even though sometimes it does get flagged, it is not copyright. It's all free. So I like it to be played out a lot. That's why I think I'll
yeah.
get more plays. Whereas if it's copyright, you don't.
Oh, 100%. When it's copyright music, people struggle to listen to it because there's that many people that are content creators now, so they struggle to have music in backgrounds. I think sometimes music just brings a different vibe.
Yeah.
So, like, even when I do streams, I try to have a little bit of music lightly in the background just to add a little bit of a vibe.
Yeah, that's it. And another thing
So,
is as well, sometimes you can, pay for these tracks and it doesn't always go to the artist. It just goes to the producer and the team. Like unless obviously you're like James Arthur or something like that. Which
yeah,
which which I
exactly.
have played a game of FIFA with, and he's fucking good. I'm telling you that. I've
It's jog shit.
no, he's really good. He's really good. His team's called Wallop, and yeah,
All right.
yeah, his gamer tag is actually Sir King Arthur.
That doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, when I had him
That
up on
doesn't surprise me.
PlayStation, go ahead.
Just gets a load of random ads and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Who are all these cunts?
Yeah, I played him on Xbox when he moved to PlayStation.
That's mental. Because he was really big there at one point. Is he
Yeah.
still going with music? Or
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not even
he's
sure.
he's, he's just doing gig after gig. But in his he streams in his house when he's online and he plays games and you can see he's got like his own piano, writes his own stuff. Um, but yeah, he's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah, stop. I'd say that. All right. It was a strange one when he entered X Factor.
But yeah, I've had a lot of connections. I've actually spoke to Harry Shotter online and met him in real life.
That's mad.
So you know I've met famous people. I've done a lot of things, you know, and for a guy like me, I've ticked a lot of boxes and upset a lot of people. You know, so
Mate, I'm the exact same, just in
so
different ways.
but yeah, next question, go for it.
What was the next one in my head? The next one was, what is the next step for AFA?
Well, we're not closing the door, that's for sure. I think
Like, I hope not.
the next step for AFA, well, I think it's time that we add some big AFA nights, like everybody in to play some games. I don't know what it'll
You're
be, but
mayhem.
we shouldn't be Call of Duty. We should be a big party game. I don't know whether I know Fallout's a big thing, but like I know Fall Guys. I mean, um,
Yeah, Fall Guys.
but I don't like Fall Guys if I'm honest. So we need a big game that we could play. If we can do like a big free for all on Fortnite or something like that, that'd be epic. I think everybody,
That was funny.
some big nights get AFA out there. I think maybe a few competitions that people can get their name on a T-shirt. Oh, and by the way, just a little bit of interest. Anybody does buy any merch from store 2, there's a big delay. I'm still waiting for my stuff from the fucking anniversary.
Oh, for God's sake.
I ordered it in April.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh dear. Yeah,
Oh, no, that's not good.
they did say they'd give refunds though if they're not happy, so that's good news.
That's fair enough, but like these things have to be made and there's a
Yeah,
process and
but
it's like everything.
for the future of AFA, it's rebuild what needs to be built really. Get teams on most platforms. I think Rocket League for Dilser is a big one because he's so good at that, at picking these things up. I think obviously Minecraft is a big one. I think obviously with the movie coming out, wasn't that great, was it? But AFA in Minecraft, maybe that'll be a hit. you know?
Man, I'm loving it. I've already built a little place where people, when they join, they can just walk over to and they should be able to grab things that they needed just to get going and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. I got a whole little fortress in it now for people like when they join.
It'll be like
So sorry, that's
it'll be like Last of Us in Minecraft where we just build forts everywhere.
fucking is, man. I've after building a massive brick wall. I spent it there yesterday with Radders' missus there. Like it's one of them things. It's just I'm after building a fortress. She was on with me for a bit, and she enjoys playing it, and I enjoy playing it. She's only learning it and everything like that.
Yeah. Well,
Like
yeah.
there's Dilzat now. Like Dilzat does what he does for a living, and he's on a last minute trip to Lithuania now, and
I
he's
know.
gonna be okay for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, that's
So
it. But if we could get some games that
he's a
everybody
good
can get
lad.
their hands on,
Yeah, just free games.
yeah, it'd be free, obviously.
We're
Like
not gonna make people pay for them.
no, no, and the thing is, we give them enough time to download them. They got a chance to install them and
It's,
stuff, and we could have a game
yeah,
on something then. I just think Call of
exactly.
Duty it's very saturated and it's the same thing over
I'm
and over again. Like me and Pricey have a game of golf now and again, and we love it. I'm terrible at it.
I'm
Like
dried up. I'm dry on COD now at the moment. Like I'm
yeah,
just done with it.
I'm a bit terrible at golf when it comes to playing like a pro, but I still have a go, still enjoy it. I like playing the courses. And
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm learning to play golf. If I get to master it, then that'd be amazing. But it's a very tough game to play.
Oh, I'd say that, man. So no, honestly, we're gonna move on up from here, and that's just
Yeah,
the only way to go.
that's it. So it's just like making sure everyone's all good and keeping things going, trying not to upset people. You know,
The way I look at it is, if people get upset, they get upset.
yeah, that's it. You know, you can't treat everybody the best. You know, end of the
No,
day, everyone's got feelings. Everyone's going to get hurt. It's whether or not
exactly.
if it's bit. You know,
It's
the way I look at it is that everyone gets opinions and stuff, and
yeah,
that they get put in a corner where they have to react, but it doesn't mean they have to walk and leave the clan. You know, it might be just that person's just having a bad day or whatever. You know,
this is it.
but you're
Like
always
some,
gonna.
you have some
I
peace
always,
in
I
life.
always get people come in and they say, "Oh, why don't you do it like this? Why don't you do it like?" I'm not gonna fucking do it like that. I do it the way I want to do it. And if you don't, you're not fucking doing it. I'm doing it. You know.
Mm,
End of the day, if
exactly.
I put something on, that's how it is. I'm not changing it. You don't have to fucking enter it if you don't want to. That's how it is. You
And
know,
this is it.
I give people, I let people have a chance to have their say, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm doing it this way because I'm the one running it. You know.
Yeah. So it is. Just you gotta run with it, and
Yeah,
people don't want to join. They don't want to join. If they do, they do, and
that's
it's the
it.
sad thing of it.
That's right. Yeah. So, next question, dude, if you've got one, or is that it?
I think that's it because I lost
Yep,
track of my questions. I
that's
had
it.
them all in my head, and
As
I
you
was
can
like, "Oh,
see, I'm wearing one of the first tops. The first one was grey. Um,
oh, that's what I was meant to mention was your OG jersey."
I can get it if you want to see it. I'll have it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, this has been very good, guys. Tell all. Ooh, we got to see the Silad's booty on the way out the door.
So this one is new. Is a very very old one.
Was this the old? Oh, I like that.
I won't be able to hear you because I got my headset on, but there you go. That's
I
awesome,
like
right?
that a lot. That's sick, man. Sick ace. That's beautiful. That's mental. And obviously with the new line of jerseys out as well
So there we go.
on
Right, headset
AFA
back on now.
Sports.
Hope you all
I can hear it now.
hope you all enjoyed that. It's been absolutely awesome. Um, don't forget, you know, end of the day, this is the story, whether you like it or not. I'm probably going to get some harsh comments on YouTube from this, but oh well. Hope they enjoy it.
Oh well. The means they're still thinking about you.
Oh, maybe they'll give me a Christmas card.
Happy Christmas, love you. Bye
Yeah,
bye now.
you know, I think we got a solid bunch here, you know, with
Yeah, we've
AFA,
got
what we
other
have,
people now.
and that's how
Like
it is.
like we got Pricey Georgia in all time.
Old man loves it here.
Harry. Uh,
Old
he
man
does
loves it.
bad language, tut
Yeah.
tut. But like
So
we got Pricey Georgia, Harry, fucking myself, even though I'm kind of doing a bit more community side things now at the moment, especially with Nexus. We got
yeah, that's
Emily, we
fine,
got
dude.
Jordy pops in, we got a load of people that are in all the time. There's so many to mention now. Shots is for one, he's been here all
Yeah.
night, you know, and tis him when he comes in and out. And same with Cal, you know, Radders, Ryan, so many people to
Oh
mention.
yeah. But I reckon old man should come on for a
I
podcast
agree.
soon. I think we need to hear it from him. He's been in for a long time. He hasn't got to spend all night on it. He could just do like an hour. Tell him a little bit. We could do he could do a few every now and again.
Mm,
I think old
exactly.
man's got quite a few good things to say. Like when he started gaming, like I don't even know half of the stories.
Comes in and
We'll
just
see.
absolutely slashes it.
It's
If
so funny.
not, when he comes down my way, mate, I get him on a video call and I'll get you on an impromptu live stream.
Oh, I gotta say this wasn't in the story, but it's a good little thing that old man will remember. So there was this guy, right? He was called Punisher.
Mm.
His real name is Tom. Not going to tell you any more than that, but that he used to join these games, and if it didn't go right, you would hear him. You would hear him get a bit nasty. He was like start screaming, and this one time we was in division, and we was having a good laugh, and because old man took his spot, get the drones, he got really upset, and he left the clan, and he started writing a load of shit online about AFA and stuff. But you know the funniest
course.
thing? The funniest thing, his son was still in AFA. You know, that's the
Upset.
funniest thing. Like, who does that? Who writes crap about a clan where the son's still in it? Like, I couldn't
Oh,
believe it. Like, me and old man were just laughing. They're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
yeah,
it was funny. Like, I'll never forget that someone's actually dissing us and their son's in it. Like, come on.
yeah, exactly.
But
You
that's one
can't
of
be
the
doing that
funniest
shit.
moments I thought I would share. Thought that was funny.
Oh
So,
man, that's
but
mental
yeah, man,
shit.
it's
Like,
been good. Thanks for hosting it,
it's been
Niall.
phenomenal.
Absolutely awesome guy.
Second one.
Don't forget to give him a thumbs up, guys. Absolutely awesome. Don't forget to hit that like button on
Follow me
YouTube
on
for Niall.
Twitch.
Let's do it. Yeah, follow him on Twitch. There you go. What?
Twitch.tv/Niall Games with 3 S's, or just click my name and you're sorted.
Yeah, that's the one. It's all good, bro. Thank you so much for doing it. Thanks
No
everybody for
worries,
being
mate.
in. That's watched it live. I hope you all enjoy it watching it back on the YouTube. We're going to end it there because it's been 3 hours long and we don't want to make it too long.
Oh, fucking hell. Didn't even realise.
Yeah, 3.3. We've
No,
made a
man.
record. It's got to be the
We
longest
have.
podcast, isn't it?
Man, this could have run on for 5 hours.
Yeah, I could be here
Honest
forever,
things.
but like I've kept it short as I can. I've done the best I can with it. The justice. I've gone through every little snake and retrobite that I have. It's been great, man. Been good. And I wouldn't change it. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel any different.
Absolutely not,
I
mate.
don't feel any different. Don't feel any sorrow. You know.
Fuck that. But no point.
And big rest in peace to Steve, Hot Monkey Dust. We're thinking of you, dude. And we hope you're enjoying it up there playing Division.
Probably is.
There we go. Thanks everybody for taking part. That's it. I'm going to say bye now. If anybody's got any questions in the chat, last chance.
I feel like the old man's going to come in with something random.
If anyone's got any questions in the chat, let us know before we go. We'll pick 3 out. Yeah, no worries, shots. See you, man. No,
See you later, lad.
that's it then. Let's go. That's it. It's a wrap,
Alright,
Niall. We're done.
Slán Awalya in Irish.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe.
Give me money.